I am funny sometimes.
I don't find him funny at all. In my very honest opinion, I was like, bro, why is this kid so relevant?
Kalesh, come on, let's go. And I don't want people to know this.
The reel I made on With You. No, With You is the song.
मैं कहाँ से आ गया? Cut. One mistake that you regret making as a kid.
Not treating this like a job.
Content was never the full-time plan. Like that was just never in my head.
What is your brand in one line?
I didn't even know what the brand positioning was.
But give me more on the ideation stage.
Right, so the way I train chat is like, okay, I want this in an Ashish Chanchlani style, mixing it with Bhuvan Bam, adding Carrie Minati feels to it.
Oh.
I'll do this, bro. Thanks. Now let's go to the anxiety-giving question, which is life cycle of a creator.
Hey guys, welcome to another Gen Z roundtable podcast. My name is Ayush Shukla. I'm the founder of this company called Finnet Media and the host of this podcast, Restless. आज के podcast में हमारे guest हैं Agasthya, Kevin and Taneesho. These three are one of the most famous Gen Z content creators out there on Instagram and YouTube. And today we go very deep into their learnings from content creation, how they make money from brands, इनका creative process क्या होता है और आप एक creator कैसे बन सकते हो. So enjoy this conversation, but make sure to subscribe to this channel because 75% of people watch the podcast but don't subscribe. हमें बहुत मेहनत लगती है वीडियोस बनाने में, so please do subscribe to us. And हमने वीडियो में टाइम स्टैम्प्स दे रखे हैं, तो अगर आपको कोई पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन या पर्टिकुलर चीज के बारे में जानना है तो आप वहां देख सकते हो.
So I'll just quickly brief you guys of what I was thinking. I'm gonna divide this into 5 segments. First is how to choose your branding, which is like, for example, Agasthya has a brand, Kevin has a brand, Taneesho has a brand. तो उसमें हम थोड़ा डिस्कस करेंगे कि ब्रांडिंग, लाइक यू ऑल हैव ब्रांड पोजिशनिंग, राइट, लाइक इन योर ओन वे. वो कैसे चूज कर सकते हैं. देन हाउ टू बी अ क्रिएटर, but in that we'll discuss content and creativity. So for example, systems and processes from idea to execution that you guys follow. How do you track your reel, your most viral reels and the breakdown of it, कि तुमने plan कैसे किया था. Life cycle of creators and the plan. I think that is something Agasthya and I have discussed a lot. Then third segment is how to stay relevant, and this is where we discuss the algorithm, the competition and burnouts. These 3 things. उसमें मेरे sub points हैं. Fourth segment is wins and losses as a creator, highs and lows, insights on creator economy, blah blah blah. Fifth segment is life beyond the screen, which is who are you guys without the social media.
Nice.
Kevin is like nobody.
ऐसा नहीं है यार.
The most important topic which Agasthya cares about: how does money and business work?
Oh.
Okay, let's go, Agasthya.
I'm Agasthya Shah. I'm from Mumbai and born and brought up in Mumbai. I've stayed here for all 22 years of my life. What else?
College, school.
I studied in Jamnabai Narsi School in Mumbai only.
Rich
and,
kid.
Which?
I said rich kid.
I heard which kid. I was like, what do you mean which kid? No, so
You are your brother.
I did science up until 10th, and then I failed physics really bad in the 10th. Like, I mean, not in boards, but in my prelims, and I realized it's not cut out for me. So then I did commerce, which was really cut out for me. Flex, I scored 100 in economics in my board exams. I have that certificate also. I'm very proud of it. Let's go.
It's the Guju blood.
Maybe. But yeah.
Maths में कितने आते हैं?
Bro, maths was my weakest subject and I've grinded that
Number
subject.
बता तू.
I got 93.
Fine,
Yeah.
whatever.
Bro, boards, I somehow did good, bro, in 10th and 12th both.
होता है, I think
In
something
math, I
hits.
got 95.
Yeah, there you go.
Same 95. Top 2 life events before
Top 2
content
life
creation.
events.
Before content creation.
Top 2 life events.
जो भी तेरे दिमाग में आ रहे हैं.
One has to be when I shot an ad with MS Dhoni as a kid. And
Achha.
yeah. So this was basically, I used to play cricket in school like every Indian boy. And my mom just took me कि एक club है इधर घर के पास. And there were auditions happening there for some boost ad. And I went there, I auditioned for it, and somehow they liked my bowling action or something like that. And I did this ad, and I remember till this day I bunked my English language exam, like the 20-mark exam that happens. And I went and shot this ad, and that's definitely one of the coolest moments. Like I did something like when I was
For boost.
for Boost. Yeah, that was a cool life moment. Like that was my
Nice.
first vanity van and all of that. When I was like a baby.
Very
Dude, I don't even remember. 6th grade, 7th grade.
10 साल types.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Another life event.
Crazy. I think मैंने देखा होगा word.
Maybe. Bro, it was a very generic ad.
We'll put it here.
I'll tell you about it. Another life event. I can't recall anything else right now.
Yeah, what's up? Okay, so guys, hi, my name's Kevin Zinghai. I am 27. If you want to know about school and college to hua hi nahi because I dropped out very quick. I did like, I think 10 plus 2 only. Unlike JNS and stuff like that, I was from Stanislaus only, so I went for an SSC school, so I always hated ICSE students because they always thought they were better than us. Because these guys had like sponsor money and stuff like that. I remember actually we had gone for Immaculata in like St. Mary's and like JNS also used to like...
क्या होता है भाई ये सब?
Immaculata's
It's a very big, like, it's like how Cascade is it? These guys have Cascade. It's like this
क्या
really
होता है?
college events.
inter-school competition. Yeah, but back then it's
है
like
कहाँ से?
I'm from Bombay itself only. Yeah. I grew up in Bombay. My mom's from the northeast part of India. That's basically Manipur. My dad's from Mahim. So basically,
Oh, very close to me.
Mahim
So-
and Manipur.
yeah, Mahim and Manipur. We moved here in 2000, and for me as a northeastern kid in Saint Stanislaus, it was very difficult because I was the only Asian-looking boy in the whole school. And the reason being why my face looks a little different, but apna Bombay ka accent वैसे ही is because I grew up in Bombay completely. Schooling was quite tough. I wasn't as smart as you guys academically. बाकी सब में तो बहुत smart था मैं. But I
Street
was
smart.
Yeah, very
Street
street
smart.
smart. Yeah. I think my boards, I think I did 54%. And I think in my 12th I got 53. And in spite of being a Catholic, I couldn't even get in St. Andrews with Catholic quota. So yeah, I studied in RD National College. 10 plus 2, that was all that I did. Then I think I had to drop out of college because my mom and dad split when I was like 12ish. So I had to start working very soon. I had to start working, I think, around the age of like 14, 16ish. So I started doing odd jobs and stuff. Started out with call centers. I think at 24, I decided, no, you know what, I want to do content. And I did a very...
But why content suddenly?
I always had a knack for being in front of the camera. I used to just like Ags, I did a lot of commercials when I was a kid. I worked with Amitabh Bachchan, Irfan Pathan and everything like that. I used to do a lot of TVCs back then. I think I did 24-ish when I was a kid. I think I did it till the age of like 12, 13 or something.
Who got you into that?
I don't know. The mom and I were just walking at Marine Line. Some guy saw me and mom, and they were like, "This kid is cute. Like, let's put him in a Maggie commercial." I think I was 4 years old or 5 years old, something when I started. If I have the clip, I'll show it to you. And I think I did the first Maggie chicken ka ad back then, and then we just kept doing more and more and more and stuff. So I realized ki, I actually like being in front of the camera, but obviously due to financial circumstances and stuff, I had to continue. And like my mom really wanted me to study. That's why I'm proud to say I'm a CA today. I'm not.
I was like, one second.
One second. Everything. This guy's Sharma ji ka beta. Like, what has he not done?
No, I don't. My mom just really wanted me to study and focus on my studies, and that worked out pretty well because I just did my 12th. So I don't know why, but then luckily I think it made me who I am.
I'm Taneesho Mirvani. Some people may know me as Taneesho. I'm 22 years old and born, brought up in Mumbai. I've lived in the same house since I was born. I went to school in Villa Trisa High School. It's a girls' school. And then I did junior college in Jai Hind. And then I went abroad to do my bachelor's in advertising. I did that at Boston University. And now I'm back.
How to choose your branding? I think August, you should start with this, which is how do you define a brand? Did you plan on building the brand that you have? And firstly, let's start with, तेरा brand है क्या तेरे हिसाब से?
So my brand is like very personally, my brand has always been doing what I wanted to do or what every kid would think they wanted to do when they were a kid. Like intrusive thoughts you have as a kid, like all my YouTube ideas that come up like that. Like, what if I stayed in this haunted place for 24 hours? Or what if I do this thing? And by default, since I'm a kid, I don't know why, I don't know how it's I think partly because of my parents also. It's just always instilled in me that if you want something, if you have a dream and if you just go after it, I don't see a reason why it can't happen. You might fail on the way, for sure. But like, at the end, tum udhar pahunch jaoge if you just keep going. And my entire brand is built around that. Just chase your dreams. Like my IFAM, which is my community, I keep telling them that we're dream chasers. We're not afraid to be different, and we push each other to become better people every single day. I say this at the end of every YouTube video, and I really mean that, because I feel like your brand on social media should be authentic to who you are as a person. And I think all of us have spent time on camera, off camera also. I feel like I am the same person on and off. Like I am just me, like some energetic and just chill, funny sometimes. I hope so, not cringe. But yeah, I think that's very important that you just keep it authentic, and I think that's what you guys also and you also do very well. That y'all are the same people on and off camera, and I think that's why your brand also works so well. So it's always just been being very authentic to who I am as a person, and I don't shy away from even sharing my down times or like my bad times on social media, because I feel like it's part of the journey. Like if I'm telling people that you can chase your dreams, it's not all like lala time and everything is good all the time. I think it's important that you share the lows with them, because then only will they realize that there is a certain price that you have to pay to chase your dreams. And I feel like that is what encircles the brand, like intrusive thoughts, chasing your dreams, and just being myself, like no matter what. And yeah, I think that's how I would
define your
sum it
audience persona to me. 20-year-old, like
What do you
20
mean?
like 20-year-old living in Bombay, Bangalore, Delhi, or does this, that kind of.
I feel like my audience is a little wider. I'm sure I have
Give me two
kids
segments if you want
14, 15 also watch me, and I have people 27, 28 also who watch me. It's because I have this spectrum of content. Like I might make relatable, funny reels. I also do make fashion. I also do YouTube and a lot of other stuff also which is planned, and that's why I feel like I've hit this wide demographic. So basically it would be anybody who comes onto social media after a long day, either at school, college, work, even a parent for that. I have parents that come up to me saying, I watched your video and I really liked it. Like my kids and I watch your videos. I'm like, why you like my videos? You're like 40 years old. But like it's strange. It's strange to me. But I feel like it's anybody who's had a long day of work or anything they do, and they come home, they open their phone, and if I can just make them smile, I would say that's my demo. Like it can be even a granddad or a dadu dadi, dude. If I can just make them smile, or if they see my video and they think, oh, my grandson is like this, he does this relatable thing that I'm doing in the video. I feel like that's what I always go for, just trying to make people smile, and just if they're worried about something's going on in their life, I just want to get their mind off of it for that 1 minute. Just to divert their attention, to make them feel a little good. So I would say that's how I would sum up my audience.
And what do you consciously try to stay away from in terms of your brand
Stay away
positioning?
from?
इस type का content नहीं करना है मुझे.
I stay away from anything that I wouldn't do as a person, and I feel like it's very conscious that I think when you're a creator on social media, you might say that don't do exactly what I'm doing, this or that, but I feel like it's from Spider-Man, right? With great power comes great responsibility, and whether you like it or not, as a creator in today's world, there is a certain responsibility. We do, to a certain degree, make trends. Like creators come together to encircle trends, like what people wear, type of haircuts, and all of these things, jewelry or anything. And I feel like I don't ever want to promote or do something which can influence anybody in the wrong way.
Okay.
I feel like I'm very, very considerate and particular about that. I don't want to promote anything that I would not want my younger brother to do, for example. Like it comes from a place of care. And it's always that. It's just not promoting the wrong things, because you never know, something you might promote in the moment, not even promote or like do on camera, people get influenced by it. Like you have to understand that as a creator, people do get influenced by what you do. No matter what. You might say don't get influenced, it doesn't matter.
I had a thought. So usually, and I'm asking this question because usually creators इतना सोचते नहीं हैं कि हमारा branding क्या है, हमारा positioning क्या है. I'm asking this because 90% I feel उनका बन जाता है and then they realize it. With you, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel तूने consciously ये किसी को attack किया, knowing you and your background. I feel that's the case. But is that the case?
Yeah, that is the case. It's just always been. I'm a Gujarati, so I think that's the one line.
Enough said.
But I feel like it's very consciously driven that I I have to make this brand and this persona for myself, for others, and also for my business, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, this is a risk that we have taken. It's a job at the end of the day. We make money from this. And it's very consciously made, and I feel like over the years, like I've been making content since I was 12, 13 years old, and I feel like I've seamlessly integrated just who I am into this brand.
True.
It's never been like, yay, this is a good move, that's why I want to do this. It's just seamlessly integrated at this point. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I think ever since I've known Agasthya, maybe 2.5 years, I think he's one of the few entertainment lifestyle creators जिसका left brain और business दिमाग हमेशा से चलता था. That's why I feel he's थोड़ा सा on the mix or like a unique end, because in my opinion, whatever I've seen, they're very unidimensional. Like, you know, fashion creators, they'll just hang around the same crowd, have a very small enjoying the moment mode. But this guy would also be like कि finance में क्या हो रहा है, infotainment में क्या हो रहा है, धंधे में क्या चल रहा है, which I think comes from your dad also, being an entrepreneur. But very interesting. Did you guys think about like this, like brand position मेरी ऐसी होनी चाहिए, or like was it more serendipity?
So I wasn't as blessed as Agasthya in the start to in order for me to be able to actually understand कि oh bro, this is what is, you know, I should be looking for, this is what I want my brand position. I didn't even know what the brand positioning meant, to be very honest. For me, all I knew was कि भाई views आ रहे, followers बढ़ रहे, the people that I was working around with, like all they cared about was numbers. So they would just be like, you just get the numbers, and then that numbers is basically what sells. Like, you know, like that is what we can take to a brand and be like, oh, he has this XXX amount of views, you know, your brand would work well with him. So when I started out, I was creating very crass content like that. You know, there was a lot of galis and there was a lot of these things, and because there was no guidance and stuff like that. And for me, like it wasn't even me, like, to be very honest. I was just like, okay, I'm getting views out of it. Like, it's not even the real person that I am. I'm a very different person in real life and stuff. But I was creating that kind of content because certain people are telling me, ki, you know, like, okay, you're getting views out of this. This is going well, tu ye kar and stuff. So I was doing that only. But then after a very long time, I think there was one particular brand, I can't drop the name. I really wanted to work with them. This was my dream collabs. And that got dropped at the last stages. Okay. And I couldn't figure out why, because I was like, at that time, I think I was doing like 5,000 followers a day I was gaining.
Wow.
And like every video was like 10 million plus. And I was like, bro, I have the views, I have the followers, I have the reach. Like, why did the brand say no? And someone from upper management had on a call was like, yaar, uska video na bahut cheap lagte mere ko. Brand upper management. I heard it on a call, and then I sat down and I realized that, okay, it's not just about the views. You have to understand what brand positioning actually is. So then I reinvented my entire image on social media and stuff, and then I removed galis completely out of the entire equation. Like, I think it's been a year or something, except for my stand-up. I've not cussed in any video at all. Now, that takes time to reinvent your image, because there are still very few people that still come up to me and they're like, "Arey bhai, tu gali mas deta." And I'm like, this is what I want to run away from, you know. I did not know that. And coming to Agasthya, I'll tell you honestly, I've actually studied Agastya's channel, like, from a really long time. I'm going to be very real. I used to be damn envious of him, okay? I used to think of it in this way. This is before I got into...
two of us.
Yeah. This is before I started understanding what content and what the way Instagram work. I used to be like, bro, he's not even that funny. Why is he getting like 10 brands a month? Like, bhai, kya? Like, his agency must be like really damn good or something like that. Because I don't find him funny at all. Like, this is my very honest opinion. I was like, bro, how is this...
Come on, let's go.
Why is this kid so fucking relevant? I used to just be like that, bhai, kya? Then I started studying his brand videos, and I was like, bro, iske brand videos mein 10,000 shares aa rahe hain. How? Then I started understanding ki, okay, wait, you know what? He is captured on a particular kind of audience, which is not me. And that is that's amazing, to be very honest. Because for me, I was very one-tracked at that mind ki, like, you know, like this kind of humor is the only thing that is funny and stuff. Then I started studying his channel, and I realized ki, okay, you know, he has this entire thing going where there's an entire community that I can't even tap into, because they don't find my content funny. These people find my content crass. And he's got that audience, and he's doing incredibly well in that. So then that was when I started understanding that, okay, he's positioned himself for that niche of crowd really well. And then I started, you know, going back onto it, and then I started coming, you know what, like, I want to inspire people about the way I actually am and the things that I have done. So then I started putting that entire thing out there that, okay, you can do anything you put your mind to.
What changed before and after?
What changed was I studied not just him. I studied a lot of other creators, and I would always see like the shares on a branded content, because if you're doing anything more than 5 to 10,000 shares on a branded piece of content, that means you're doing good, bro. Honestly speaking, because
even 1,000 for that matter is a lot.
Exactly. Like, I have never even got 5,000 shares on a branded piece of content. That's why I'm envious. But yeah, he's killing it, bro. Like, there are months when I've seen him do like 8 brands brands in a month, bro. Like that, I'm like, how? You know. So when I studied all these creators, I realized that they've positioned themselves incredibly well, and they've thought of like, you know, okay, what kind of content should I put out there? That brand,
Give me one-liner brand. What is your brand in one line?
my brand, you can do anything you put your mind to.
And content brand.
As in, I'm not following your
Like
question.
for example, the entertainment videos that you make. जैसे इसने बताया था कि you know funny वाला content हो गया या 14-year-old content
Yeah.
pieces. The kid intrusive thought. That
Okay.
piece. What's yours in that?
Mine is like, I feel like the ones that do incredibly well are like the characters that I made, like the 4 characters. It just revolves around the friendship, relationship, and things like that. Because most of the content that I make is from personal experiences like that. Like so, since I've been in a situation like this and I found that incredibly funny, I just maybe add a 1-2 punches, and those videos just like they tend to blow up like incredibly well. Like for example, I think my most viral video I think did 65 million or something like that.
Which one? Pani Puri?
Yeah, the Pani Puri one.
Sev Puri.
Yeah, the Shev Puri one.
Beautiful video.
Yeah, I got like
Mechi बोला ना तो दे देंगे ना.
yeah, I got I think 50,000 followers from one video, and that was insane. Yeah, like one video you've gained like 50,000 followers, and but that was also an incredibly very well thought video.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it wasn't just ki, oh, I thought this was funny. Like the entire starting goes like the MC Stan thing was trending at the time, the Nusta Paisa thingy, the entire Vada Pav girl thing was trending of that entire, everyone is starting a thela, being an MBA and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, my Sufyan character does well. Let's maybe try an audio hook of the Nusta Paisa thingy.
Very smart.
Chaat in Mumbai is a very, it's an emotion. Like everyone loves like Shev Puri, Pani Puri and stuff like that. And like, what is that one factor that, you know, like we all, that feel good factor is when you get that extra puri, right? So I also thought of the emotional aspect of it. So it looks like a very regular kind of a video, but I thought of every single thing ki itne second mein itna aega, itne second mein this is going to come, and the last I need to give them a feel good factor where they like, oh, you know, like there's this thing of getting that extra puri, which you're always waiting for or something, and then you just add a humor. So yeah,
Nice. And even the acting was bang on, bro.
acting to
I
yaar
thought-
abhi kya bolo.
It was too good.
Paisa.
Crazy. Yeah, I think a lot of creators don't understand this, and most creators की journey यही होती है. Like for me also, like I am struggling with my brand positioning in the sense that how do I put my company in my content?
Yeah.
As soon as I put company in the content, videos tanks. As soon as I just do content, views are up, but then what about the company? So it's like a constant struggle. जैसे तेरा है ना कि ये भी चल रहा है क्या करूँ? मेरा है कि ये कर दूंगा तो व्यूज़ कम हो जाएंगे, ये नहीं करूँगा तो फिर आई विल बी अ क्रिएटर, बट आई एम नॉट अ क्रिएटर, आई एम अ फाउंडर फर्स्ट. सो उसके चक्कर में मेरा भी ब्रांड पोजिशनिंग फुल रहता है. बट एक्टिवली एज अ क्रिएटर आई थिंक यू हैव टू थिंक अबाउट दिस. What are you going towards? Which direction you're going towards? Raj does this really well in terms of suddenly he's like the perfect man. Now he's figuring it out. Now he's India dream. तो बहुत ही consciously वो धीरे धीरे evolve करता जाता है. He's really good at it. But more creators need to know this. ये भी बहुत rare case है कि आपको पता है और आप उसकी तरफ attack कर रहे हो.
He nailed it, dude. Like,
Yeah, that's.
I didn't know anything.
So that's why I wanted to cover this piece. But yes, Taneesho.
I'm going to say that I was a part of the 90% of the other creators who had no idea about this, similar to you. I think for me, so I actually started out with content when I was 13 on TikTok.
TikTok at 13?
At 13, imagine.
TikTok था तब?
Tha.
Wow.
So this was just after Dub Smash was no longer a thing, and then
Was it Musically that time or TikTok?
Musically. Sorry, right. Musically.
Musically,
My
yeah.
bad. I'm so sorry. I completely forgot. So I started off at 13 on Musically.
The lip sync.
Yeah, lip sync, transitions, masti, comedy.
You need to find those videos and put them.
Yeah.
Please don't. So again, similar to what I do now. And back then it was just literally musty. Like I used to see another influencer do something that was trendy and I used to want to follow it. I wanted to add a little bit of my own element in it, add my family, add that whole positive vibe into it. And then obviously my mother was like, you are 13 years old, get off the internet. I was like, fair enough. So I stopped. I started again in 2019, which was 5 years ago, when I was 17. And then I, again, similar, I didn't know exactly what brand positioning was, how to go about it. And COVID had just hit. So I felt like what I'm going to do now is I'm sitting at home. I have some ideas. I'm going to just make content out of it. And then for me, my branding is what my personality is. So my brand is my personality. If you ask someone, how would you describe Taneesha? They'd probably say, yeah, she's like a fun, muffat girl you know, and I feel like that's what it is in my content. My brand specific, how Agastya said, his brand is, you know, just a kid with intrusive thoughts. Mine is just a girl who's trying to make the most out of every day. So I'd like, you know,
Nice.
I started like a little happy day thing where I wanted to, you know, spread positivity with that. I do like relatable videos once in a while, more relatable to girls than guys, but yeah, that is more like my thing. I enjoy fashion, I enjoy comedy, I enjoy lifestyle. If I like something, I'll put it out there. So that's essentially what I'm going for, and I hope that in itself becomes a brand. That this is just her being herself, and that is what Taneesho is about. So I hope it shows like that, but I don't think I've cracked that 100%. I think while
you consciously
it's
think of that?
sorry,
Do you consciously think?
I
of
don't
it?
consciously think of it. I do feel like, and I don't consciously think about it because, as you said, I think it is a little bit more brand friendly because I don't think like no, like I'm not abusing. I'm not like, you know, it's
in a good
pretty.
place.
It's yeah, it's a safe creator to collaborate with, and I think that's something I also may not like as much. I feel like I would want to be a little bit more out there with a lot more stuff, but I feel like where I am right now, I'm happy with. So.
I like it. A girl who's trying to make the most out of her.
Yeah.
Very nice. How do you come up with content? तूने थोड़ा सा बता दिया उसमें तेरे पानी पूरी सेव पूरी वाले में, but what's your creative process? तू start करेगा?
Yeah.
Break it down as much as you can.
Okay. So my creative process is divided into many different realms as everybody. But what I've been doing recently is I have these 4 words. Like one is topical, one is trends, one is relatability, and one is familiarity. These are the 4 words,
Okay.
and every idea I think of, I try to fit it in one of these buckets. And
Topical और trending में क्या फर्क है?
trends are maybe like the, it's a very bad example to go, but कौन सी color की चड्डी पहने हो, that's like a trend.
Trend, yeah.
But that's a very bad example.
Agastya, I know what's on your explore page now.
And a topical would be more like Ye Jawani Hai Diwani just re-released.
Okay.
Right.
That's topical and
Topical.
trends. And what I like to do is, like I said, dude, it's very strange. These intrusive thoughts, these thoughts from inside, they just come to me. Like one of my most viral videos of last year was the Paryayavachi, Hindi Paryayavachi
Yeah.
video. It went to 25 million. I was
remember.
like, how? And it's just, I was sleeping in the night and I was like, bro, why did we learn this? Like we learnt it fine. If I know one word for it, I don't need to know 2-3 words for it. And I was like, this is a great video. And again, like he said, you know, you have to deeply analyze it, adding like, I added the Panchayat background music because I felt like that
ये
vibe.
तो third से बता, तू मुझे ideation से बता कि तेरा magnet क्या है, source of magnet की ideas मैं ऐसे लेके आता
Bro,
हूँ,
it's
फिर वहाँ से filter करता
it's
हूँ,
really
वैसे.
observational. I feel like it's how I started making content. I have this list in my notes that anything I see anywhere, I just start typing it.
ठीक है. So
And
notes is your source वाला, जब तू add करता है, the first
yes.
step.
Yeah, that's my first step. Second step, what I've recently started. So there was a while where I didn't like really script my videos. I would just go on the go, like improv vibes. And I think in some way that helped me and didn't help me because my improv skills became better. But my punchlines could have been better if I scripted them. Now what I've been doing is 2025. It's one of my New Year's resolutions. Every day I'm writing 3 scripts. Like I might use them, I might not use them.
Okay.
So it's like a go at least 2.
That
Like,
is
that's
insane.
that's my thing. Like in the morning or in the evening, whenever for
First
an
thing
hour.
D&D.
Yeah, I have to. It's I want to develop. It's like a muscle, right? Like
Musicians say
your creative
this.
mind is like a muscle, and that's one of my goals for 2025. And that's what I do. Like even if I might not use the idea or the script, that's fine. But the more I do it, and now what I've been doing is I get the idea in my notes. Second thing I do is I think what are the most used words around that topic. What's the most
This is after you've selected a topic to make
yes.
a content on.
How can I look the part, for example? How can I change my tone, for example? Basically because observing people, right? My friends, everybody, all of you guys, my family, and that's where the scripting process starts. That's where I write down that, okay, this line is there, and I'm very conscious ki every line can't be 5 to 6 seconds, Some line needs to be 2 seconds, some line needs to be 8 seconds, and they need to in edit, I'm just giving you they need to be intercut also really well. So like the jokes land for the audience. And so we go to scripting, I script, I try to make them funny, like just from what comes into my brain. Next thing becomes execution. Execution is also really important because initially I just used to shoot inside my house. Now I've started going down in my building, on the road somewhere, because I felt like my creativity was also getting a little blocked just in that room.
In the box.
Yeah, like for 2 years when I started, it was literally I sat on one chair in front of the window and I used to shoot rants or anything there. That was my frame. So then comes shooting. In shooting also, see, that's where my improv thing kind of helps me. I might write a script, but on the go, some thoughts come in my head which just makes the joke 10 times funnier that I could not have
While
written.
you're shooting?
Yeah, while I'm shooting. I can't write that. And it's also like the great bond I have with my camera person, my editor. We bounce off ideas while shooting so well. And that content just comes and, you know, as a creator, you know the piece of content is good when you're laughing while filming it. You know, when you also bro, I just shot this video, teachers in school assemblies, and for news of the day, I just said nude of the day, like as a kid making a mistake. And dude, I have so many bloopers from that. It's just something I was laughing while saying it, and that's why the comments were also the nude of the day was a funny line. Because it's about while you're shooting, we come up with these improv bits. Then goes editing. Editing also I have this certain type of background music that I might use for some videos. Some videos I intentionally avoid using background music if I feel like the lines are good, it's breaking the flow and it's not needed. And I feel like all of that together, then the text also comes. Some videos you want to add small emojis here or there to make it land better, to make like the nude word land better.
Yeah.
So all of that just comes together, and that is how just reels, like YouTube and everything's so fully different. But like these 4 buckets is what I try to fit every video in, because I feel like it gives variety. Instead of just going with trends, instead of just going with relatable, because if you just do that, then you're missing out on trends. If you just do trends, you're not putting out original pieces of content, you're not pushing your creative mind to come up with stuff.
Absolutely.
So like I keep trying to shuffle between all of these.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so execution for sure, shooting and editing तो important है ही, but concept is where the real game is. तो मुझे वही source वाले magnet में और समझा, like for example, तो ये बैठा है तेरे को इस पॉडकास्ट के बारे में, शायद पॉडकास्ट के बाद शायद 10 आइडियाज आ जाए, तो 10 लिख लिया
आ गए
तो तुम श्योर तूने वो 10 आइडियाज लिख लिए अपने नोट्स में, ठीक है. स्क्रिप्टिंग तो बाद में हो गया, तू इन्हीं से उठा के फिर स्क्रिप्ट करता है. करेक्ट. ओके. एंड देन यू बकेट दीज आइडियाज इनटू लाइक 4 pillars of your content. Content pillars तेरे 4 हैं जो तूने भी बताया, उसमें तू इसको डाल देता है. Sometimes if one is empty, do you force yourself to come up with that content?
Have to because like I said, right, variety will only happen when you force yourself कि भाई कोई trend नहीं चल रहा, like let's find a trend which is still developing, you know, and let's get on that bus a little early. So I feel like that's the creative process.
The way I've broken it down, right, I've understood this one thing of like how it works with for me. Okay, so ek to it's one, you draw inspiration from everything that's around you, whatever's happened in school, any moment with your partner, whatever it is that you think it's fun.
तू बोल रहा है भाई, तेरे को क्यों दूंगा मैं, मेरे को कहना है भाई. He's like no, it's okay.
उसका रील बन रहा है.
Kevin यार.
It was so serious. And then suddenly
I was like, no, it's okay. He's like, ठीक है. So there's this one part where you draw inspiration from anything that's happened in childhood, school, relationships, friends, or whatever it is. But then I came up with this really cool thing. Okay, so you have these meme pages, right, that will have like these one-liners that if I read a one-liner and I found it funny, I'm going to be like, okay, you know what, I'm going to put this in my content in somehow, and this is going to be the punch. Like for example, I made this piece of content today where like my female character Shivani tells her boyfriend that, you know, like oh, you know, I touch myself thinking about you. And she's like he's like, oh yeah, why? And he's like, yeah, I have, मेरे को मेरा सर दबाना पड़ता है क्योंकि तू मेरे को इतना परेशान करता है. So I had so
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I read this meme which says कि like, you know, like that had this thing in English and it was like oh, I touch myself thinking about you because I have to press my head because that's how much you make my head hurt.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, you know what, let's incorporate it in a
Turn
situation.
that meme into a video.
Yeah. So I do this a lot. I do this like with so many pieces of my content. Like for example, like I did this video, I think this also went like, I think like 10 million plus or something, where it's like there's this girlfriend boyfriend situation and this girl is asking this guy ki, hey, can you like I really want to meet your family. And he's like, okay, you know what, let me make you meet my family.
I saw
उसको
that.
घर पे लेके आता है and he's like, okay, yeah, meet my wife and kid. You know? So it was a meme where I read on a page, it was like, when you ask her to meet your when she asks you to meet her family and you take her home and you make her meet your wife and kid. So I was like, let's direct this.
The
right?
Sakshi one, na?
Yeah, my friend Sakshi. Yeah. So
Friend
yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, continue.
So anyways, basically, so any meme or anything that I pick up, and I think if I laughed at the first go, right, like as a creator, like we consume so much content and stuff, and we're comedy creators, so if something can make us laugh, that means it's good.
Yeah.
To be very honest, because we've consumed so much content. So if it makes you laugh at the first go, try to construct a script out of it. Then you follow the basic hygiene that, you know, the viral hook or something like that. Then you go with, like, you know, the trending song or the trending audio, what is going on. Like for example, I did that time, I think Tamdi was really popping up, like Createx was like blowing up at that point of time. So I just remembered back in school, I had this friend that he would just like go on the Activa, or कोई भी ऐसा मतलब fruit वाला या grapes वाला रहता, he would just like snatch something and he'll just go away. So I was like, you know what, let's incorporate that one friend that always has kidas, and let's put this viral audio which is going really well, and it's very Tamdi is super catchy, right? So even if you're hearing it anywhere on your reels or something, so that's when I use viral audio. Okay, this guy snatched this thing, you know, like we've had friends that would, if you're at like a store buying, like, you know, like whatever chips or something, they just like want to flick something out.
Yeah.
So that's a relatability factor. Then that you're adding on top of that, you're adding the viral audio, and plus then you're adding, like, you know, like your comedy or something like that. One other thing I remembered noticing what Agastya mentioned, and I was like, wow, we do the same thing, is the way you title your video also.
Yeah.
That the way you title your video, like the super that you put, could change the entire perspective of the whole video. Yeah. And I think I had experimented this once with a very normal basic video that I made where, like, one friend didn't have money, and this guy was like, I think, buying a cigarette at the store, and he was like, do you want to smoke? And they said like, no, I don't have money. Like, did I ask you for money? So at the end, I just put a CTA which says, ki tag your sutta buddy. That has like 4,000 comments of people just tagging people. That one CTA changed the entire narrative of the video. So these things to maintain, these practices to maintain, can really take your video from being a basic video to just adding that one little title over here, or adding that one little CTA, could change the entire narrative in regards to the fact that now people are constantly commenting, they're tagging other people or something like that. So that is something that I tend to maintain. So yeah, that's my creative process.
Good. Give me more on the ideation stage. Like, तूने जो memes और videos वाला बताया, that is a really good one.
Yeah.
What else? Like, do you have like his kind of process or her kind of process? What do you do at?
So ek to it's like one, at any point that I am, and if even one idea like strikes me, I could be in the middle of anything, I'll just remove my voice notes, I'll be like, I will put it down together. Then I have this one day where I prefer writing on a whiteboard more than actually typing things out. So I put down all the ideas that I have on the whiteboard. I see what I can construct out of this. Okay? Once I've constructed these things, I use chat like a lot. Chat GPT really helps. Yeah, chat helps. But you need to learn how to, for writing scripts.
Writing scripts.
Yeah, but you need to train chat. Like, you need to learn how to use chat
It's
in
not
that
good
way.
with like giving you ideas. It's good with like.
It's good
scripts.
with structuring things, but then you add your own feel to it. So, but you need to train chat, right? So the way I train chat is like, okay, I want this in an Ashish Chanchlani style, mixing it with Bhuvan Bam, adding Carrie Minati feels to it.
Wow.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So sometimes chat has given me some really good scripts, bro, but it's a hit or miss. But chat gives you a lot of structure. So then at one point of time, like, I had written, I think, like a 4-page paragraph to chat explaining what my thought process and the kind of creator that I am, and came up with an amazing script, to be very honest. At that point, yeah, obviously I had to fine tune it and I had to refine it for, like, you know, like trying to make it fit, and I would add everything. Okay, I needed to have like a Bombay accent to it, little inspiration from Gully Boy, little inspiration from this. So chat, if you learn how to train chat nicely, honestly, it's kind of scary that it's doing that well, but you need to learn. But most people don't really know how to prompt chat in that way.
Yeah, of course.
So adding your own touch to it, and then getting chat to structure it, and then you know, okay, like this can be short like this can be short like that, and I take suggestions from chat. Okay, like should this be a 60-second clip, or should this be like 30 or 40 seconds? Then it'll give me its entire analysis in regards to how it has studied Instagram or whatever, and I also use my experience and stuff. So collaborating with chat, I think, has helped me a lot these days. So yeah, I use chat for now everything.
I didn't expect this answer.
Yeah, that's very
You just
Yeah,
need to learn
that's
how to
really
train
cool.
chat. At one point in time, I would ask her like, okay, I need this to be a Taneesho video, Taneesho style.
I will not this put in the content. I don't want people to know this.
great. That's great. You know,
That's actually really cool.
just one other thing also. Sometimes while coming up with a video, right, if there's a trend or something, I would say what I also think about is how can I get this video to the person who started the trend. For example, if some movie has come out, how can I make a video on that movie to make it reach its producers or the actors? Because if that loop gets completed,
Networking.
then by default networking happens. It's good for the business side of things, and it's also good because that video has to work so much for them to finally
The
see
AP
it.
Dillon reel that you made.
That's a good example. Yeah. So the reel I made on With You.
Not with
No, arey, With You is the song.
अच्छा with मैं कहाँ से आ गया? This was the date moment.
Teri yaad aawa. I think With You only.
With
So,
You, With You,
Yeah,
it's
With You.
correct.
So when it came out, it was blowing up. Every reel was that, and I was tired of hearing that audio.
Teriya.
Yeah. So I just made that thing, and I remember one shot where I'm just wearing a hoodie and showering with a hoodie, like crying in the shower. That shot is the reason AP saw that reel, and at a meta event or something, he pointed me out and that he had seen my reel. I was like, how?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to make a viral piece of content, fine. But it's such a cool thought pattern to have that it should reach.
Yeah.
It could. You know, you should always think like that what if this reaches the person
I like
who
it.
made it, then make the video accordingly.
Because we had made this one Shark Tank video, which we were like, the product was Komos, cocaine and momos. Okay. And was the Oyo guy's name? Ritesh, I think.
Ritesh.
Agarwal.
Yeah, Ritesh.
Bro, he reposted it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Cocaine and momos was posted on his main page, and we were like, oh my god.
Shark Tank India.
I was like, did this guy repost
That's
this?
too good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
So
saying, it's
that
the
was,
best.
yeah, when you said that, I just remember that part. But yeah, like, that's a very good mindset. And we were just like messing around, but to
Yeah.
think of it in that way, I think, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I also Sahil Bloom.
Yeah.
You know, right? Like Sahil Bloom. Do you guys know? No.
No.
Very famous US entrepreneur came to India. So I randomly made a reel around him. Like I made a reel like 3 newsletter that you should follow, and I mentioned Sahil Bloom, and that did really well, like 500K. And suddenly he's getting a lot of newsletter subscription. Is this guy is trying to figure out how? Simultaneously, I text him, bro, do you want to come on my podcast? And he's saying no to everyone in India. He just did one with Raj, and he just kept it on scene, and then later like, bro, you know, I'm getting a lot of subscribers. I think it's your reel I just saw. Let's do the podcast. I was like, I like it. Very similar to this. So actually अब मेरे दिमाग में ये आ रहा है, मुझे अगर किसी celebrity के पास जाना है, किसी बड़े actress के पास जाना है, you can just make reel around their content or like life or some movie, and that can go viral.
You know, it's
about
very
giving
interesting.
value.
This is how Divya Fofani manages to reach
Yeah.
a lot of celebrities
That's
by
true.
making content surrounding how to get to them.
That's true.
Like he did the full
Mr. Beast thing.
sneaking into Mr. Beast, or he he had his mom meet Sunidhi Chauhan because she was such a big fan, and I thought that was really inspiring. But I think it's a really smart way of going about getting recognition, because I feel like a few years ago this would never happen.
Yeah, of
Content has been new, and now like I feel like there's no knowing now what can happen. Like I feel like there's no bounds to what anyone
sure.
can fulfill now that we have like content.
True.
For sure. It's just about giving value. Like if you want to work with somebody, just give them so much value that they also want to work with you. And I feel like Eric, YouTuber from the US, he's the one who
Yeah.
started this trend. Like he bought Logan Paul's couches and he destroyed them or whatever. And that's why it's almost like non-consensual collaboration.
Yeah, you have to pique the interest.
You know what I'm saying?
Basically, you have to.
Vedant used to do this really well back in the day with his YouTube videos of why Prajakta is not relevant. He would trigger them like Prajakta is not relevant,
Exactly.
Sejal is not relevant, why Tanmay Bhatt is so big, all of that, and he'd get a lot of views on it. And he told me everybody would slide into his DMs and be like, thanks for making this, that was a good perspective. He wouldn't like, just do a good content. He would like really go deep and be like, कि तुम ये गलत कर रहे हो, तुम ये सही कर रहे हो, and वो guru बन गया. And then everybody's like, he's showing me text like, that's a good perspective, thanks. And that's how he also got connected. So it's also a great way to actually start a company in this space or like get into this. Give me more ideas. This is a good. अच्छा होता है मैंने
what
दोबारा
you just
पूछा.
mentioned again, like I think I did something similar once. Like my story views were really like declining at one point of time. They went down to I think like 50K or something, and I was like, shit, this is not good. So I came up with this really cool idea. I was like, you know what, I'm going to talk about 8 Instagram creators that I really look up to, like viral ones, and I'm going to post it on my story. I'm going to break down why they're like really viral, okay? And this was like a long time back. So I chose the best 8 Instagram comedy creators, and I gave like a little bit, like maybe a 15-second talk on my story. Okay, number 1, number 2, number 3, and I was a big fan of Vishnu Kaushal. Okay, at the time, and I spoke about Vishnu Kaushal at the fact saying that the reason why I like Vishnu Kaushal is because I feel like he did the best low fidelity content, like that, keeping that camera angle over there, like there's no production, there's nothing, it's just pure content value. And his brand videos also shot like that only. For me, like brands expect like production and they expect like a FX3 and stuff like that. With Vishnu, it's like he can shoot it like that. So the reason being why is because he gave so much value to the brand while being one of the best low fidelity content creators and stuff. So then I had posted on my story and then he reached out and he was like, hey, I didn't know this perspective, aisa karke. And then I'm like, we start following each other.
Socha bhi nahi.
I was like, yeah. Then that day, I think then after that my story views peaked like 150 or something like that, because all these creators, these 8 creators simultaneously they reposted it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was like
I'll
smart
do this,
move.
bro. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tip.
Yeah. Do that honestly, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good one. Good one. Got it. But even with like GPT, you can try Claude also. Claude is better at writing.
Okay.
And in Claude, you can like there's something called Claude projects, which you can train for like your
integration
scripting
area?
specifically. Huh?
This is the integration or something?
No, it's not integration.
Because you came in that YouTube.
So just take a moment, like in GTV also, you can use Claude.
Claude, reach out to Mr. Ayush Shukla.
I remember someone was telling me about ChatGPT and how it has a pro version and this and that. And then I was like, I'm Sindhi, I'm not paying. So I like looked up other similar to ChatGPT, and then I found Claude, and it's actually very helpful.
Yeah. Claude is pay me money. Claude is very good. Like
Claude.
for writing.
Good.
Yeah, it's not paying me, bro.
Okay.
Bas itna hi bhai thing. What do you do for like when you are like the answer of the 8 stories thing was a great answer to a question of when you're in a downward pull, what can you do beyond your direct content creation to get that, sometimes you need that slight uptick. Like collab reels is one of those things which gives you that uptick. What is it for you guys apart from collab reels and stories, or koi technique?
Trending audios. I will look at what is trending, or look at like a trending format of a video, and I'll go with it. Like for example, that I love Wala audios trending on my page, and the format is people are just posting either it's their boyfriend or it's their or it's like they love traveling, so there'll be many. It's the same format, like it's the same audio. Everyone's posting the same amount of clips, and it seems to be working right now.
How do you keep a
because
track of these audios, dude? Like,
listen,
there's
I'm
so
chronically
many.
online. It's not a good way to go about it, but I'm online a lot. But then, like he said, AI can also be a really powerful tool here. I feel like here you can
AI
straight
can't
up just ask ChatGPT, can you
Kya
tell me what the
trending chal raha
audios
hai?
are trending? Yeah, I feel like it would work. I haven't tried it
Have to try
myself
it.
yet, but I feel like that's a really smart way to go about it.
I also feel like if you're stuck and you don't know what content to make, that's where you were hinting, right? So I feel like just sometimes going back as a creator, you always know with the type of content you started making, right? I'm sure it's evolved quite a lot from where you started to where you are right now. But I feel like going back to where you started can be a good reference point again to just come up with something, because like you said, right, Instagram algorithms, you need to post something every 2 to 3 days. Otherwise it's ruthless.
Yeah.
So just as a simple, sometimes it's just like a check mark. Every video doesn't have to be a viral video, but showing up consistently is what rewards you as a creator in the long term.
Yeah.
Right? Because every video is not going to be a hit. But the more you do, it's like the muscle. Like I just think about it like that. The more you work out, depletes your muscle, and then you're stronger.
Yeah.
Going back to what you originally made can be a good hook. Like my Paryayavachi video, very honestly, which became like a thing on my page and everywhere. I was out of ideas at that point. And I was just thinking, I started with making school videos, right? That was the vibe. And like, school mein aur kya hota tha? Like I was lying in bed and I was like, school mein aur kya hota tha? I was up, couldn't
Pani
sleep.
peene se pehle permission wala video.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So
that was
there
really,
also,
like, that's
that
how I
also,
felt. I
That
was, like,
also, I was talking to my 13 now, she's going to turn 13, my cousin sister. I was talking to her how school going and everything. And I was like, school, water bottle, pani, why did we ask for permission? And it's the most random thing. I would say whenever you're stuck, just have conversations with people, because ultimately we're making videos for people. You have to understand human psychology if you want to be in this industry and succeed at it. Because what would you want to watch? What would you want to make? And what the audience wants to watch? You need to find that blend.
Yeah.
So keep talking to people. Like everybody. Like I get videos when I talk to my nanu when I sit down with him for like half an hour. you know, about bro, it's the most random thing, but it's a fun conversation also. It's different and it exercises your mind and also gives you content ideas. So I would just to be curious, that can help you when you're stuck.
I agree. Can I also say one more piece of advice that might help with not just content, but just being creative in general, is doing nothing. And by nothing, I mean absolutely nothing.
Boredom.
Boredom. This doesn't mean walking in the park and listening to music. This means sitting down and staring into the wall, pure nothing, because that is when your creative juices start flowing. And boredom is what will make your imagination come to life, and that is when you start thinking of other things. Because what's happened to the world is that we're all scrolling, we're all seeing the same things, we all have shared experiences, we all
music.
think of the same things. It's all brain rot. We're all playing the same music. We're all turning into one person. There's no individuality, and I feel like sitting down and doing absolutely nothing.
What a line, dude.
I was like, oh shit, bro. You dropped it. Dude, yeah, we're all becoming one person.
We're all becoming one
Sorry.
person.
Don't cut.
Yeah, but that is what I'm saying. So when you sit down and you do absolutely nothing, you allow your creative juices to flow. You allow yourself to get bored with no screens, no music, no nothing, no taking in of anything, no consumption of media or anything, is when you truly can see what you are. And when you have nothing, what do people start doing? They tap into their hobbies, right? When there's nothing to do, there's no phone, nothing around you, someone will pick up a paintbrush and start painting. Someone will start singing. And that is where our individuality comes from. Unfortunately, the media, our phones, everything is just ruining it for us. So please, I feel like it's very important to do nothing, at least for an hour a day.
Flights and showers.
Great
That's also a
insight.
place.
Yeah, great insight.
No, she's really right. So as a comedy creator, I feel really pressured ki, I need to post one video at least once in 2-3 days or something like that. And I know that's not going to be my best piece of content, because I'm in that phase ki post karna hai. So I'm forcing myself to write a funny thing, which I don't know whether it's going to work. I don't know if it's going to do really well or something. So whenever I come into a phase like this, I just take a break for 10 days. I won't post for 10 days. Now, some creators can afford it, some creators cannot. I'm at a phase where I can take a 15 days off and I won't work. So I'll take a break for 10 days, and in those 10 days, I'll try to come up with the best possible 3 videos that I can. I don't need to post 10 videos. I just need 3 really incredibly good videos. So now that I'm relaxed, now I'm not under that pressure, and I will then post the 3 videos simultaneously, like that, one after the other. And
Sniper approach.
Yeah. So the way Instagram works is if you know your audience and you know that first hour you're going to get that 1,200. This is at least how I have analyzed my page. If I get 1.2k shares in the first hour, I know that's going to touch 5 million. It's a guarantee that I know, and I have these bets with my friend. I'm like 1.2k 5 million jayega, 100%. Okay, so I need to just understand that the first initial audience that it's showing to, those people should be able to share this to somebody or something like that. So sometimes when I've come to a phase where I am just not getting ideas or something, I'm like, okay, wait, my core audience which follows me, where my feed, my notification comes on the top right, these guys have followed me for a while, so they like me, they maybe sort of have an idea of who I am or my story, right? So that's when I post feel good factor, maybe my journey, or maybe my fitness thingy, or I used to be a flight attendant, or they know something about, let's say, my Jiju or my sister or something. That's when I'll post a little feel good. It's not comedy, it's a feel good reel. So now that reel, since your core audience has now watched it, they've engaged with it, your other reels also tend to pick up and stuff. So then now what I'll do is I'll cushion that reel with other comedy reels now. So now that first initial reel is giving that algorithm a little bit of a boost, now I'll try to make sure I post that shorter piece of content which I know is easy to consume, and it's funny, and I'll get the most amount of shares out of it. So because of that, the reel which is the feel good factor, which is something that is, I think my billboard reel, I planned it out really nicely like that I had a very old clip of me and my friend standing outside, I think Dadar or something, and we are like, bhai apna ek din billboard rahega aisa. And then when the billboard came out, I was with that same friend, I was like, hey, we made it. So I cushioned other comedy reels around that, so the feel good factor came in ki, oh, he actually did that. And then there were other comedy reels, so the other reels started picking up. So if you have a reel either, you just cushion it around other reels which are shorter, easier to consume, and it will actually pick up your other reels. So I do that for branded content as well. When I post a branded piece of content, I will make sure ki usse pehle there's a reel that's really good, that is gonna maybe get the most amount of shares. Short, anything under 40 seconds, 50 seconds is the best. 30 is the ideal part, and after that there'll be another viral reel that will go. So because of that, the brand reel picks up, and then I can show to brands ki, hey, you know what, I got these many views on my branded piece of content. So that's generally what I practice.
I do the same thing.
Very cool.
Now let's go to the anxiety giving question, which is life cycle of a creator. It's said that a creator's lifespan is 4-5 years, 5 years, 7 years tops if you are a decent, above average kind of creator. What are your thoughts on that? Like, do you plan कि मुझे इस content के views से धंधा बनाना है? For you, it's maybe acting or comedy. For you, I think you are deep in like middle part of your content journey, 3-4 years, but there was a break, and in a way you're restarting or like doing a power up of it.
Myself for sure.
Thoughts on this? Tooth last jayega.
Go, yeah, that's what I just spoke. Yeah.
I think so. There's two things. I think I go into it very cautiously, knowing that this is not the most sustainable field. But then I also tell myself, you don't know that, right? In India specifically, this is a very new field that we're going into, and I don't know. I feel like you don't know that your career on social media is only going to be 5 years, because I think out of it so many things can come. Yes, it could be an acting career or it could be business, but I feel like even social media wise, like I think you don't even know if Instagram is going to be the big thing 5 years down the line, because 10 years ago Facebook was the big thing, right? And then Instagram came up, and then that became a bigger thing, and creators changed this, that. I know that Kusha, Prajakta, Tanmay Bhatt, they're all doing different things, yes, but even as creators, if they relied on that alone, even 10 to 12 years down the line, they are still, I would say, the biggest names right now. Sure. So I feel like, I mean, it's like a lottery. You'd have to be 1 in a million for it to last forever. But I don't want to sit here and say that everybody who tries content, their expiry date is 3 to 4 years, because you don't know that. So I feel like I go into it a little bit cautiously. So I hope to have.
Do you live in the now?
Not entirely. I do want to plan for the future as well. Like I said, I would love for this to be a long-term thing, but I don't think it will be as long as I would like it to be. And also, I wouldn't want to be doing content 20 years down the line when I have children and stuff like that. I don't think that would be my main thing. So of course, I would want to pivot into something else, but I just don't want to put an expiry date on myself and say कि 3 साल के बाद कुछ और करना ही पड़ेगा. Like I don't want to go into that with that mindset. So yeah.
So right now it's content. You don't
right
want
now
to think
content,
about the next
100%.
thing.
Yeah, because I'm rebuilding now. Like I just got back 5
Fair.
months ago. I want to rebuild that and then maybe pivot into something else. But I don't want to sit here and believe that 4-5 years it's done, because now it has been 5 years for me. So if I believe that, then
Wow, it's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years for us. We started together. So
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
And what do you see around you, like around like creators you hang around with in your niche and all that?
I think a lot of the creators I like see at events and stuff will say, yeah, I'm doing this now, I'm doing this full time. Some will say I'm starting a business. Some will say I'm going into acting. I think the two most common ones are they're going to start a business with the audience they've created, or they'll try to go into acting. But again, like it's working for some and it's not working for some. I feel like not everyone has been able to be successful with that also. And I do appreciate that they're, going into an uncomfortable space, because you do have to do something else with this. But I don't know if either of those things are for me. Like I did a degree in advertising. I really like writing. Maybe that is something I'd want to do next. And hopefully this will help me reach that. But I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm not sure yet. And when the time comes to stress, I'll stress. Like you're right, I'm living in the now actually.
Go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Got it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I started to realize pretty early on that if you're only doing Instagram, like I feel your window is even shorter. I feel it's like going to be like 3 years at the most, because Instagram is so competitive at this point of time. Every year there's a new Gen Z creator that is like really blowing up. I remember Gen Alpha aa raha abhi yaar. I remember when Hamza started like posting, like Hamza was I think at 50k, I was at 400. Hamza's at 800, I'm like at like 650 at this point of time. Like he grew so vigorously. So every day there could be a creator that's going to be like better than you, and that's going to be coming out there. Plus there are now the entry level of getting into Instagram is like, it's practically nothing. You just post a video, right? The way I look at it, it's like, okay, if this person has 10 million views, that was 10 million views that I could have also achieved. So that's like that 30 seconds that this person was scrolling, I could have captivated on that audience as well, right?
Kevin is really
so
competitive.
Yeah, it is. It's becoming like that because everyone's just posting anything and everything, and like like your screen time is becoming lesser and lesser. That you are going to be, your piece of content is going to reach on the top of the scrolling page, right? Your feed. You're getting pushed down lower and lower and lower because it's that competitive every day, and then that entire thing of like again having burnouts and not posting for a while. So for me, I was like, okay, how do you build long-term relevancy? Like, how can I get into a zone that there could be just 20,000 people that'll remember Kevin, and that was getting into acting. I was like, okay, if I could land a character like Joey or Barney Stinson or something like that, they will remember that, oh, like, hey, this is that guy, he was in that show. Like that, right? And you have a small little cult following over
Bunny
there of like,
from YH.
yeah, it's like exactly. It's like 20,000 people that will still keep you relevant, at least in their circle. Like for example, like when I talk to my friends and somebody does something like that, I'll be, hey, that's what Barney would do. Stop acting like Barney. I was like, okay, I want to get a character that people say that, oh, hey, that's like what Jaren would do, because that's the name of my character that I'm playing in the show. So that's what I was like, in the last, I think 2 years, I think I gave more than 50 auditions, and I was just constantly making monologues over monologues because I really wanted to land a series anyhow. And towards the end, it also came to a point where I almost gave up and I was just giving auditions just for the heck of
We'll
it.
talk about that story.
Yeah. But I understood you need to build long-term relevancy by doing something like, because if you're only like, see, some people it does work. Like look at Foncho for the matter of fact. Like I think their main thing is Instagram that they do. I think the
Funcho.
Funcho. Sorry, Funcho mainly does Instagram, and like they picked up with that entire Navratri thing that they do the Garba night.
Thing.
I was blown away, man. It's so massive that they could pull off something of that scale, but. Again, they're not just doing Instagram, right? Like they understood, okay, there's something that they can captivate their audience with. So if you're only relying on brand deals and stuff like that, then you're looking at maybe 2-3L in a month for a very long, for like maybe like a year, 2 years, 3 years, and then after that number is going to start declining. And once you get used to getting that kind of money, you see people around you that are pulling in like 20, 30 in a month and stuff, and you're like, okay, like why am I not getting? But you're not relevant anymore because you only experimented with one thing. So after a stipulated period of time, you have to keep your audience, like you got to keep giving your audience something a little new. So for me, it was stand-up. Then now it is acting. Then maybe like tomorrow, if all these things go away, maybe I'll become an artist manager.
Yeah.
You would be a good one.
I think because I have learned so much over the time, and I would like if I'm come to a point, because Ashi said like sometimes you just don't want to be online, but sometimes you just don't want to post everything that you do in your life. Maybe when I want to take that step back, I'll find a talent that I can identify, and I know if I groom this person in the right way and I got the right guidance, which I did not receive in the start, I will make this kid like do things and
Jerry Maguire
yeah,
vibes.
perhaps. So there's an endless opportunity in this field, because like even when I started making videos, I started realizing, hey, I like being behind the camera. So I like being a DOP actually. To be honest, I like lighting. Oh, I like to make this room look cinematic in that way. There are a lot of videos of my friend that I shoot as well. So I started liking that thing. I was like, hey, maybe if this doesn't work out, I could just become a DOP perhaps, or I could become an artist manager. So there's a lot of things that you can get into, but you need to identify that it's not sustainable for a very long time if you're not experimenting with other things.
But can I ask you something?
Multi-talented.
Do you feel like a cult following for a character specifically, because you're in a comedy field, only comes from doing it in a show or a movie? Because I don't know if you follow these creators. I think their name is Bachcha Mat Bolna. They do
Yeah.
they're really funny. Like
Yeah,
Ryu,
content, yeah.
Vedu are their characters, and I feel like so. The interesting thing is, I really got into their I really enjoyed it. I stalked them. I found their YouTube channel. I thought they were new, was my thing, that I thought this has recently just come up. They've been at this for 6-7 years. So those two same characters were also kids in their earlier videos. Yeah. And I feel like they've really gained a cult following now, because even like their comments and their videos, I see people be really crazy about them. And I feel like they've gotten a little bit of a cult following that I think will make them last a really long time through content alone. And I would say maybe they have just come into the limelight, so I feel like they're on my head as well. But I don't know if you remembered, or if you like, back on Facebook there was this dude, Varun Thakur, and he was like, he had something called like Vicky This Side or something like that. 10 years ago. This is when it just started. Not everyone may know him. To this day, till today, people talk about that character because he was so iconic and he was so funny. And I feel like now I feel like social media does have the power to also, a lot of things are short-lived, and I feel like, of course, this is not the truth in everyone's case, but I feel like it's not impossible to do it with content as well.
No, absolutely, it's possible. Like for example, Billy Mossy, for that matter of fact, like Kusha's character.
Yeah,
like till now we remember Billy Mossy.
You have to build
right?
an IP on
yeah,
top
but
of your content.
It's really difficult to nail it. Like Bachcha Mat Bolo, like I feel like the number of people that can actually have a iconic character coming out of Instagram it's rare. It's like a one-off kind of a situation. For me, like right now with the show we're doing like 100 episodes, 5 seasons. So I know for a fact that this is going to play for the at least like the next 5 to 6
do it right,
years.
it
If you do it
correct.
if
So
you do
have
it
to
right,
smartly work smarter.
you have to work smartly. with Instagram and like this kind of content, it's like, see, I would shoot for 2 months in a year, and it's like I'm not putting in. Obviously, I put in the work and stuff, but for that character, like for example, I can only imagine how much Bacha Mat Bolo must be thinking and putting in that kind of
Absolutely.
work and putting in that way.
Absolutely.
So do I really want to put in that kind of work? Do I really want to sit and
Absolutely.
brainstorm every single day or something like that? But yes,
Yeah.
if Taneesho did correct me over there, it is possible also from Instagram, but it's rare.
It's rare. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very rare.
Absolutely.
True. So what, like there are two ways of doing it, right? Like the internal IP and there's an external IP. What he is doing with the TVF thing is an external IP.
Correct.
Like, you know, Ranbir Kapoor is Ranbir Kapoor, but you still remember him for the bunny from
of course,
Ye Jawani Hai
of
Diwani.
course.
Internal IP build करना बहुत मुश्किल है, which Kusha let's say did with her Mossy thing,
Yeah.
or let's say there's this creator of ours called Sorted Girl. So she has this IP where she's like, hey, you're the sorted girl, and that's how she starts her content. And yesterday I was at Soho House with her, and two people came in, hey, you're the sorted girl. So that's her internal IP, right?
That's
like for a
smart.
Sharan, it's like, kya fook ke aaya hai be? That's
Yeah.
his
Follow
thing.
my man.
Follow my man,
Farhad
all of that.
Suchan.
So that recall value is an internal IP, which is difficult to build.
Yeah.
But तू अपने वो characters के साथ internal भी कर रहा है और external भी कर रहा है with the TVF thing. External is very difficult because you have to depend upon someone else and first get into that door, which you did. So that's the thing. Like for example, this or that is like I went from this to this is your IP in a way which I remember that. That's
Fair
what I'm talking
enough.
about it.
Yeah.
It's not strong enough, but it's still worth talking about. So you have to like keep going
Yeah,
deep into
I
it.
agree.
That's what I felt, but yeah.
My perspective towards the shelf life.
What was the question?
Shelf life.
Shelf life of a creator.
Great question. भूल गया.
Sorry. Too engrossed.
My perspective towards this, I don't know. Like that's the simple answer. Nobody knows what's going to happen. You prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And in my head, how I look at anything that happens in my life, I don't think I'll ever peak. I don't think I'll ever tell myself that, okay, you've peaked. Because once, as a creator, you make videos because you love, at least I love making videos. Even if I was not relevant 10 years down the line, or once I'm married, once I have kids and stuff, I'm not going to like make the same type of videos. But I know for a fact I will be making videos until I am old. Like I will be making videos of some sort. And I feel like it's very important
Inclusive uncle thoughts.
Yeah, anything. Bro, I don't even know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's one perspective where I don't think I'll ever tell myself or let myself feel like I've peaked, because then that hunger, that thirst to keep trying. And I really believe even if you're irrelevant for 2 years, worst case 3 years, 4 years, 5 years,
You can come back.
you can always come back.
Yeah.
You just need to have that undying spirit that no matter what, bhai main hilunga nahi. Like I'll keep making videos. Obviously, you also, financially need to plan accordingly when you're in this career that, if I have a down for the next 2 years, can I sustain myself? And I feel like that's very important when you start making money at a young age also, right? Being financially sound and allocating your money. Right. The second part is also being strategic with what you perhaps want to do, what are your aspirations, branching out from content. What I always look at content is like a major distribution system, because I feel like if you're building with that in mind, no matter what you do, no matter what you create, you have this distribution system, and ads and branding and products that need to be sold, it existed 100 years ago, 200 years ago, it's going to exist forever.
Yeah.
And I feel like as long as you're doing and helping people sell what they want to sell as a product, I think you won't go irrelevant. And I'm talking about relevancy in both money as a creator, because it is a job at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And as long as you're observational about what's going on, because like you said, we're all turning into one person.
Yeah.
Correct? It's a double-edged sword again. If you don't be that one person, then you're out of it. But if you're that one person, then you're not different.
Find a balance.
So you need to find a balance where you exist individually also, but you know what's going on in the market, what's going on psychology, like I said, right? If
yeah.
you just understand human psychology of the people around you and your target audience, I don't think you will become irrelevant. Obviously, there are many other factors, the basic things of reinvention and,
Yeah.
like you also said, trying new stuff. But I feel like the fundamental is just understanding human psychology, because branding is something that will never ever die.
Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, you invest in startups and all of that's to there. But yeah, that's how I look at it. I just don't think I'll ever peak. I don't think I'll ever tell myself that.
I like that.
That's
That's
a-
optimistic.
It's also an
Yeah.
insight of. I was watching this podcast. I forgot the guy's name. I think it was a Knowledge Project. Very very good podcast where he gets like these crazy people. There was an NLP coach and he was like, "You are the story that you tell yourself. If you're telling that the story that you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose. If you're telling the story that you're gonna win, you're gonna win." And that's a great thing. Like even if you just say that, "Oh fuck, I've peaked," you're subconsciously you're preparing for a downfall.
Because where can you go from there?
Exactly. So keep telling ourselves कि अपन तो यही है भाई, अपन तो कहीं नहीं जा रहे हैं, and then keep going up.
It's always like you should always think you're at the top of the mountain, but never let yourself think you've peaked, in a sense that, fine, I climbed this mountain, there's nothing higher, maybe, let's build a bigger mountain for me to climb.
Yeah.
And I feel like that thought will always keep you confident in your own ability also. If you never think I've
Absolutely.
peaked, ऐसे नहीं है कि कुछ नहीं किया, don't be ऐसे.
100%.
But that hunger in you, if you just don't let it go, if you just, dude, like I say, dude, if you just have your dreams are so abysmal, so big, that you maybe won't ever achieve them, but that journey is what I've started to enjoy, trying to get there.
Don't tell me sky is the limit when people have footprints on the moon.
Wow.
Motivation reel.
Let's go.
Check this again.
देख रहा है मेरे पीछे से कि ये मारेगी, मैं
Literally,
देखूंगा.
Ayush saw me in the corner. I was like, sorry, last time.
It's a great way to define relevance. If you're able to sell, you're relevant. What is your definition of relevance?
If yours was, if you're able to sell.
If you can keep selling, okay, fine. I'm not getting views, but I'm getting money. So I'm relevant to the brands.
But then brands won't come to you if you're not getting views. It's all connected.
Fair. Cut. Go on.
Bad point.
I don't know.
So slow.
I'm thinking.
What is relevance for you?
For me, it's always like trying new things only. So I've always tried that. Whenever I feel like I'm becoming irrelevant over here, I put out something new and that gets exciting. Then I do well in that. Then I have built a different audience. So there are people that have followed me for my stand-up that have no idea that I do Instagram at all. They just feel like this is some Asian guy doing stand-up, and then they discover, oh, he's big on Instagram also. Like that. Yeah. That's literally it, bro. So yeah, and there's some people that see me on Instagram, they have no idea that I've done stand-up, and I've done really well in stand-up also. So
I had no
it's
idea.
just exactly, yeah. So for me, it's just that, like, if I'm getting irrelevant in one place, I'll try maybe something else and then see if I get relevant over there. And if I get irrelevant over there, I'll try something else.
Fair.
But how do you decide that you're irrelevant on Instagram? Do you see it through views or like?
So,
What's your KPI?
I think at one point of time, my followers declined for almost a year. I think I went from, like close to 600 to 458. And that was, I think, that messed up with my mental health so much to see that number go down by 1K every
course.
day. And then at that point of time, there's so much pressure on you to post also. You're like, if I post and it doesn't do well, and
2K.
then, yeah. And after that, what happens is sometimes when you post and your followers decline after that.
Yeah, it happens.
Bro,
Unfortunately, it happens.
that is the worst
No, it
feeling
gets-
that
yeah.
you're like,
डालो कि नहीं डालो भाई?
did I remind people that you have to unfollow me? So I
Yeah,
would rather
that's
just
how
not
I feel.
post,
That's
bro.
a very tough battle.
So I think at that phase when I was going through that, I was like, Kev, you need to get your rhythm back. So try something that will just make you a little happy for a while, and then maybe you can jump into it. So that was when I realized कि okay, ठीक है, गिर रहा है अभी कितना ही गिरेगा. I won't fall to 100K, right? Like it will at least take me like a year. So I said just take a little bit off, try something new, see how that goes, and then I felt good and I got the rhythm back, and then I felt like, you know what, I
What
can
was
get
that
back
content piece for you?
to it was doing stand up, bro. It was honestly doing stand up, opening for like all these comedians here, there, everywhere, like sitting an entire night for like 4 hours to just like go on stage for 6 minutes and stuff. But then I was, you get that feeling you're doing something, you're achieving something, you're working towards, you have to always feel like you're working towards something, or else you will just go in that spiral where you're just going down and down and down. Then when I did that, then I got the confidence back, and I was like, hey, you know what, like it's okay, let's just keep posting. Viral gaya, nahi gaya at that time. Then I had two really good friends that helped me at that time. I think I collaborated with Suku. That Suku was blowing up at the time, and Be Unique at the time. So I did two videos with them. I think both did like 20 million each, and that's when my algo finally went in plus. After that,
Collapse.
so then I got the rhythm back, and then after that I was like, okay, you know what, like you were just stressing about it. You're not done as a creator, Kevin. Relax. You've just done this for 2 years. You know, the people have been doing it for 10 years and they're still posting content. Who are you to say this? It's not fair. So then I kept like trying to go back to, as he said, you go back to like what worked for you. So I was like, I think in Beach Mein, I think I was posting like some travel stuff and all of that. Those were not really taking off, but I wanted to show people, hey, my life is so exciting and this is that. You know, I can be Taneesho. Yeah, you get inspired. Yeah, you want to be a cool kid. You know, you want to look like a cool kid. But like at one point in time, I went back. What he said, like I went back to what was working. That was my characters. And I realized that, hey, that was what got me the, you know, like the fame initially. That was what got me my, you know, my first 100K. Start making that only, right? Then I started making that in a more toned down version of like, you know, like no abuses or cuss words and everything, and that took off again, and now we are continuing that itself. So
Where you're relevant is also very important.
sorry?
Which circle you're relevant in is also very
Absolutely,
important.
like the kind of audiences that follows you is also like the kind of people that you're seen with. Also, it reflects, and brands notice all these things. To be very honest, the kind of people are commenting on your videos and also like that. Because honestly, if I was a brand and like if I have like, you know, like a creator and like I see the comments and stuff, I would analyze who are actually following these people. Are these people even going to be interested in the kind of brand that I'm putting on this person's page? Would it even be relevant for them? So being in the right circle, having the right audience also really matters.
Purchasing power.
Yeah, and purchasing power as well, and also like who are you? Like some brands just do it for like for example Google, for that matter of fact, right? Like that, like if you're going to a tier 3 audience or something like that, like are they actually googling stuff or they are just asking like the Gaon ka Tauji about things, right? So these things also, like brands sometimes just do it for awareness, for that matter of fact. So you need to really have the right audience that is also following you, and also collaborating. Also, just don't collaborate with anyone, because I've realized that part too. Ki I've collaborated with creators that were, again, it sounds a little superficial, but since we're talking from business perspective, that were a little tier 2, tier 3, but they were good friends, so I said yes to them. Now that I followed them, now that audience has started now following me, and that audience is now commenting some nasty stuff here and there and everything like that, and I have to just constantly keep proving that, you know, like there was a saying like ek machli pure talab ko ganda karti hai types. So that algo has opened up on that side, and these people are reposting my reels, and then now I'm getting that kind of an audience. So then brands are looking at me like, oh, is this his audience that's following? Are we supposed to go up with him? So yeah.
Like about relevancy, what you said, just I've seen this video or interview or something about Taylor Swift, and like, dude, I think somebody had told her, or that was the narrative that a pop star's career is only till 30 or something like that, and I think she's 33 right now, and bro, she's thriving. She's the biggest musician on the planet, like $2 billion
ever.
from one tour. Like
Biggest
that's crazy.
musician ever.
So I think people will always try, and they aren't wrong. They are just coming maybe from a place of care, dude. Like people around you, your family and everybody, they're just coming from a place of care that, you know, ki kitna time karega. But you know, you should find examples and try to be that example. That even though the odds are low, the odds can happen, because like Taylor Swift's a great example. A pop star's career didn't end at 30. She's growing like bigger than ever right now.
Yeah.
So that's just one additional thing.
Yeah. I think for me, relevancy, so I did think of one, which was when I get DMs from people with a personal message saying they like my content, or I'm the reason that they want to post something, or something on those lines where it's more personal, the comments and the messages I get when they're personal, I think that is a little bit a sign of relevancy, because there has been a phase on my like page where my videos have been doing well, like the numbers are good, the comments are good, but the comments like on a fashion video will just be link. It's no one who genuinely likes the content, right? They like the product in it. So I feel like relevancy comes from A, the love I get, and then B, the hate. If I am receiving hate, I feel like that's a sign of, okay, people are noticing you. And I thought of this because you said Taylor Swift. And Taylor Swift is the most successful musician to have ever existed. But that woman receives a lot of hate. And that's how you know she's just the most relevant thing on the planet. She receives a lot of hate. Like, you'll see like a lot of hate on Taylor Swift for no reason. And a lot of people use her to get views by hating on her.
Of course.
So if someone
Fair.
wants to know why you hate Taylor Swift, obviously they're thinking about her so much. She exists in people's, whether you love her or you hate her, you're thinking about her, and that's relevancy.
That's a great way. Yeah. to sum it up.
And how do you see competition?
To who is
This is going to sound so
He
superficial.
looked at him, so I assumed.
No, initially I was competing with everyone around me. Like any person in the comedy field, I was like, oh, you know, like I can make better content than this person. Or I can do better than this. I think I'm funnier than this person. I have more views, you know. But I came to a point where right now I feel like everyone's journey is like very, very, very different in that sense. So maybe like we are both competing for like the same brand deal or something like that, but like I did so many other things also, so I've realized that okay, Instagram is not only my life, you know, like that I have other things going on as well. So now I don't really see anyone as a competition, to be very honest. Everyone has their own journey. I might take 10 years to get there, somebody might take 5 years to get there, but like eventually like I'm also doing other things that make me happy at the same time. Is this person doing stand up? No. Is this person doing acting? No. But this person is maybe like, I don't know, like he's really good at jiu-jitsu and stuff, and that is what makes him happy in that way. That is what he's using his other time and not just only focusing on Instagram. In all honesty, if I only did Instagram and only focused on all this, like I would do incredibly well. I would get like a lot, I would touch 1 million in maybe like 4 months or something. But I knew it wouldn't make me happy, because that is, I'm only chasing views, I'm only chasing numbers, and that is what, like, you know, I've made my whole life only content. That everywhere I'm going, anytime I'm going, even if I'm out with my friends, I'm like, okay, can I make this piece of content here? Okay, waiters coming. Okay, let's try to make a. I came in at zone once, you know, anywhere I was out, even if I was at the movies, I was like, okay, let's try to do one thing where you drop the caramel popcorn, cheese popcorn ke beech mein kya choose karna hai. And my friends are like, Kevin, you also have a life outside Instagram, right? Like that, everything is not content. You don't have to record all of us at all times, and always you don't have to just make content about everything. So I realized that honestly, when you start looking at other people's numbers and like, you know, like their views and shares and like, you know, amount of brand deals, and it takes away from the joy of like what you've made.
Yeah.
And I was in that zone for a very long time. When I was declining that time, I would compare myself to Suku for no reason. And Suku is next, she's on the next level. And I was like, bro, like she's been doing it for much longer than you have. Like, you know, she has a very different audience that she's like, you know, like she's catering to. Like, why are you comparing yourself in regards? Why are you justifying your value in regards to how many brand deals a creator does in a month? Like, because at one point I didn't care about the followers. I didn't care about the views. I didn't care about anything. I was like, bhai, mere page pe 5 brand deal kyun nahi dikh rahe? Why am I not being able to close this? I don't feel relevant anymore. I don't think I'm a good creator. If I was a good creator, brands would come to me. But that is a very negative mindset to be in. And when I left that mindset and I started being more chill, and like, you know, I'm just going to post what makes me happy, and I'm going to try to maybe make brand friendly content. Then I started getting brands, bro, at that point of time. Because at one point of time, I was just like, no, I've got to be better than these people. But now it's like, I have my own thing going on. So yeah, don't see competition.
Sorry, Agasthya.
Why?
He's moved on.
After something, why?
Good one.
Now we're friends, Agasthya.
Wisdom, beautiful. I'm gonna make a clip of this and send it to my creators whenever they complain to my. Listen to Kevin, dude.
Yeah.
No, but he's right. Like he's absolutely right. I feel like even I'm ruthlessly competitive with myself. Like every day, it's just 1% better, 1% better, 1% better, and I feel like that's why, dude. I think I touched on this before also. I don't derive my validation from my work anymore. I'm so lucky I've gotten to that point where I've just, because dude, I've been there. I think all of us have been there at some point. 22.
Crazy, man. Wow.
I don't.
Talking like a 27-year-old.
Dude, I don't know.
And acting all chill. I don't know, dude. I don't compare myself anymore.
No, because I'm not trying to live anybody else's life. I'm trying to live my own best life, and that doesn't mean pure work success. Like I don't want all that success if I'm deeply unhappy, if I can't go to sleep peacefully, if I don't spend time with the people I love, if I can't take a break when I want to. And I've learned to, I don't know, really just push myself to be better little by little by little every day, because dude, there's always going to be somebody above you, there's always going to be somebody below you. Like it's impossible to be like, bro, Jeff Bezos and these Mark Zuckerberg are worth so much, but still it's number 1, number 2-ish.
Yeah.
तो भाई वो थोड़ी ना मतलब ऐसे सोच रहे कि मैं number 1
वो भी सोच रहा है साला चांद जा रहा है मैं
Like,
इंटरनेट चला रहा हूँ.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, dude. I feel like social media and narratives in today's world has maybe geared our generation to think in a very different way, that if you're not successful at your job or what you do, you're a failure. It's extremist. Either you're a success or you're a failure.
Yeah.
there is no existence in the middle. There is no, ki theek hai vibes. And I feel like that is where balance is, right? In the middle.
Yeah.
Sorry, too
I
deep.
like
Sorry.
how we got into philosophy.
Yeah, literally.
Too deep, sorry.
I love it.
Failure.
At 22, if you're thinking like this, bro,
Agasthya Robbins.
I mean, that also helps.
Yeah, I'm sure. I can relate.
Yeah.
But go on.
Fair. I think. Wait, what were we talking about? What were we talking
I
about?
think I went too deep. I'm sorry.
What were we talking? Acha, competition. How do you view competition? I think. See, I'm obviously gonna agree with them. But also not just because I'm mature, I don't do this, that. I think it's also because in a field like Instagram, you don't grow when you think about competition. You grow through collaboration, and that's just the truth. I don't think you're gonna grow if you think too much about competition, this, that. You have to be a little bit smart, look at your own strengths, weaknesses, see what other creators have, what they bring to the table, instead of viewing them as iske paas ye hai, mere paas nahi hai. You come together and you make a video, and that will 99% of the time do well. And I think that's just how you have to go about it. So I feel like comparing yourself makes no sense because, like, you guys said that, like a big part of my content is my personality, but I think it's true for both of you as well. Agasthya, the way you are in your videos, you are like that in real life. And I think even for you, there's like, people follow you, yes, because they might think you're funny, but a big part of your personality also goes into that, right? Like who you are and stuff like that. So I feel like, especially on social media, you can never share the same personality as someone. It's just not going to happen. So comparing yourself makes no sense.
Yeah.
Because your personality is a big like IP of yours, I guess. So you can only grow through collaboration. Competition is not going to cut it in a field like that. So
Yeah. And how do you guys take audience feedback? Like, do you speak to your audience regularly through comments, through community?
So
what are ways
whenever-
of knowing that you're in the right direction? And that battle against, what I want to do versus what the audience wants me to do.
I mean, the normal engagement. Sorry, should I just go?
yeah, go for it.
I'm
go
saying
for it.
normal engagement is obviously one good metric that you can see if a video is
Yeah.
doing well, it's doing well.
Well,
But like if you go a little deeper into it, I try to do this whenever if somebody comes up to me, I just ask them what's my favorite video that you like, or why did you follow, like just these simple one-liners. So I just get a little more audience perspective, and I also do this thing where rather than getting it directly from my audience, I get it from like a supplementary audience. For example, my younger brother's friends.
Correct.
Right, because they're in college, and those people, watch my videos. College demographic watches my videos. So I ask them, like, what do you think about this idea? What do you think about this idea? Because if they like it, if they find it funny, then by default it's going to reach the majority of the people, because we're not making something so specific. It's a little
Absolutely.
wider.
Yeah.
Obviously from the DMs and stories and all of that, but I feel like, again, talking to people and bouncing ideas off, like it's very if you have an idea, tell some of your closest friends about it. And what I like to do is now I show people my videos, like my close circle, before I post them. And I don't send it to them on WhatsApp. I tell them I'm sending it to you, open it, but I want to see FaceTime pe. Like I want to watch your live reaction while watching, so I can hear the audio also.
Oh, that's
and
smart.
I noticed, like, I don't know, it's just something I saw Mr. Beast say somewhere, that he also does this, and I see the little smile that comes somewhere or something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that word worked, or that punchline worked. And I feel like then I can re-edit my video. It's like having one round of feedback even before it's posted. So I feel like that's also another thing, just to get supplementary from your own people, audience feedback.
Good one. Anything apart from this?
No, similar.
Same?
I don't know. I don't really generally take audience feedback, because I came to a point where I started to realize that most people, while they're scrolling on Instagram, they don't actually know what kind of content they even want to consume. They're just like doom scrolling over there. So I feel like it's like this example, like this friend of mine is vegetarian. We fed him salmon roll one day. डाल दिया हम लोग ने ऐसे, ठीक है. He's not vegetarian for religious reasons like that, whatever. We just let the salmon kha. So then he ate salmon and he loved it. Now we go to this Kuraku, this Japanese restaurant. Every time he's the one, he's like, I want a salmon roll, bro. So I started to realize that sometimes a lot of people, like, they don't even know what they want to consume or what they're feeling today and stuff. And like, maybe if you think it's funny and you want to post it, then you go about with it. Then I have a group of like creative friends, like there's like 3-4 of us, very creatively inclined people. So if I am ever doubtful about a piece of content, I just bounce it off them. If they tell me ki, bro, like, no, this isn't really working out, or like, no, this isn't really funny, or this has been done before, maybe you can try to add like a little bit of a twist to it, that's when I go. At most times I don't even read comments like that. I'm just like, because sometimes people say something really negative and I'm just like, even though the video's done 10 million, I'm like, ye kyun likha isne? Why did this person write that?
It's always the videos
So, yeah.
that go more viral that are more hate comments.
Yeah,
It's always
those videos. And then something will hit you, and then it'll just take away the joy from the fact that you got like 1 CR views on a video, man. And then you're like, so I just don't even read it. I'm like, I'll just bounce off people that I trust, anyways, and they are also doing good in their field. And sometimes I ask my mom, do you think this is funny? And if she finds it funny and stuff, and she doesn't laugh at a lot of things, and she'll like, I'm like, chill, dal dete.
Yeah, this is also another thing. Showing my
Because
parents
my mom doesn't
videos.
find me funny like that because she's seen me from the time I'm a kid, right? Like that. So like if
Maa
she,
ko mat sikha.
it's like that only, like that. So there are times when she'll tell me like, no, this is not funny. You've done better than this, and you can write something better.
Fair
So then I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'll write, mom.
Yeah.
So that works.
No, I feel like that's a very good touch point because like if your parents also like your videos, then like the range of the demographic that you're appealing to becomes so big. That might remind them of school days or college days.
I can't relate. Sometimes I'll show my dad something and be like, I don't understand all this, don't show me. Like, okay, fair enough. Yeah, but mine is also like, I'll ask friends, I'll ask family, my sister. And yeah, once in a while, if a comment comes in with constructive criticism, I always respond saying, hey, thank you, we'll take that into consideration. If I feel like it applies, then absolutely, why not? But yeah.
Yeah, Vishnu I think posted this or was telling me something like this. He was like कि story में डाल, स्टोरी में उसका एक छोटा सा पार्ट डाल के देख कि लोग रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं कि नहीं कर रहे हैं. हाँ, लोग लाइक कर रहे हैं, कमेंट आ रहे हैं, तो फिर उसके अराउंड कोई रील बना दे. Because sometimes randomest of your stories are like doing really well and I'm like अच्छा funny था, oh fuck, इसका रील बना सकते थे. So he's like मैं डिलीट कर दूंगा और इसके ऊपर एक रील बना
I've seen him does
In this way, I really like Nishman. If you know Nishman.
Yeah, she's really funny.
Nishman.
Niswoman.
So
I mean, that's
if you, that's her.
Her
this
name
thing.
is
Her name
Nisman.
is Nisman. I just
So her content, I am what like I think like 400, I think 500 posts that I have right now. That too, I have like posts from 2013 like that. Nisman is at like 2000 posts or something like that. So whatever comes to her mind, like I don't really think she needs audience. She just posts, and she's posting like almost like every time. Her things are actually funny in that way. So like imagine having 2000 posts. That's like more than how many years or how many. She's posting like 3 pieces of content a day.
No overthinking. A/B testing on the like.
ये लगा डाल दो. It's just Instagram. Don't overthink
She's
it. Just
really
put it.
good.
Yeah.
She's
And
really good.
she's doing well, to be honest, bro.
Yep.
She's at 1 million.
Recall her.
Yeah, she's at 1 million.
On YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah, both.
touch,
देख रहा हूँ
but
उसके
she's doing
प्रोफाइल
very
मेरे को
well.
याद नहीं आ रही है.
Million is still fine. I'm like, bro, 2000 posts.
That's crazy.
Bruh,
How many posts do you have? I feel like I have 800 and something.
Like 1080 or something like that.
Oh, 1.1
441 posts.
2500 posts, 1.1 million followers.
Bro, exactly.
Who is this girl?
That's
dude?
insane.
I will check.
And she's
I'll
actually
tell you.
funny even in IRL, bro. Like that, she's just herself.
Yeah, she's
damn funny.
she's
Like
damn
there's the way
sweet.
she
She's
talks
been doing
and
it for a
anything
while.
and she's been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
So she just posts whatever come to her head, bro.
Nice. ठीक है. Anything more on this?
No, I think.
I want just one liner. We'll go into detail if the line is good, but like pressure on you guys. But like one mistake that you regret making as a creator. Don't tell me the brand positioning thing. That I think is a genuine thing.
I think not treating this like a job and treating it like a hobby initially. I feel like that's
Not
a big
treating
mistake
like a
I made.
job. Like treat it like a job. You should treat it
I
like a job.
didn't treat it like a job,
Okay.
and I treated it more like a hobby in the start. That
Fair.
really.
But you thought it would scale so much.
No, I just.
So then, so then.
No, I don't know. I had this. I knew it would work out for me. Like.
Okay,
I-
that's fair. That's
yeah.
fair. Yeah.
Not collaborating with more people. I was very picky with the people I collaborated with. I just felt like maybe they aren't doing as good as I am, or like, will it work? Will it not work? Like, what will it be like? So, and plus, like, now I have at least a bunch of people that we have a good understanding. Sometimes creators just get a little weird कि नहीं ये मेरे page से जाएगा. No, I want this edit to be this particular way, and like it's not a collaboration anymore. It's just like what they want in that way. So I've been in situations where I'm just like I just want to
that's annoying,
collaborate. Yeah, it's damn annoying, bro. Like even right from the cover photos to every single thing, it's very controlling. And for me, I look at collaborations like I'm getting to work with a fun person. I'm getting to work with a fun creator. We're going to have fun, you know, like that way. But sometimes like these collaborations just is like they are very, 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 very particular about every single thing, right from a hashtag to everything. I'm like, yeah, I just wanted to collaborate because I just thought you were cool. But now it's become like that. I don't want to work with you, bro.
I didn't know you were not cool.
Yeah. So I didn't collaborate with a lot of people in the start, and I just went very solo in that way because I also wanted to maintain that entire aura of just having 4 characters and like the storyline just revolves around my 4 people.
Yeah.
But now I've opened up. Now I collaborate with a lot of people and stuff. Yeah. So.
Fair. Nice.
Kevin Ags collab reel coming soon.
Yeah, I was gonna tell you we'll do something.
Arey, it works, yeah. Sure.
I think for me, I'm not sure, but I think one of them is I wish I wasn't afraid of tapping into different niches earlier. I think that's maybe one. I did it too late. I think that's a mistake I made.
Okay, so not reading it like a job earlier, or not being scared of getting into new niches, and not overthinking doing more collaborations.
Interesting.
Fair. I think quite common. I think this one is the most common though, because this no one else is doing. They're making money, creators make money, but they're not reinvesting it into building a system or a process or like hiring team members who can write content for them and
Dude,
help
so
them
scary.
with ideation. Yeah, they don't realize it, dude. Like, I don't see any creator, entertainment, fashion, lifestyle, whatever. They don't do anything.
Yeah,
Like,
they don't have a team also.
yeah, you should expand. I mean, like, you're yourself, for sure, that's your advantage. But how can you add a writer or like a videographer to do a extra thing? वो direction में जाना is
For me,
quite important.
for YouTube, I did have an editor who sort of learnt my style and then would edit for me. But now I feel like now that I am doing this full time, I do want to give myself also a little bit more work, because if someone is writing for me, someone is editing for me, then what am I doing? I think a big part of my process, the whole creative process for me at least, is that
Fair.
everything is improv, so I can't have a script. Maybe with brand scripts and stuff I could get help, but then I feel like I don't know, I feel like I want to use my own resources as much as I can, because my videos are low effort. And maybe I could tap into something with higher production instead. But I've noticed on my page it doesn't do as well.
That's true.
So for me,
Both
it's
होता है.
like,
No, but it's like, dude, once you have fixed costs every month, salaries to pay, like office rent to pay, then dude, your perspective towards everything just changes.
yeah, which there I feel like I could maybe,
Yeah, and-
at least rent a space where I do work or
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah, in some way I'll take that
Yeah, because
advice.
even
I haven't
building a
thought of it
team
like
and
that.
treating it like basically treating it like a startup, and it's not going to happen in a year. Like I
Yeah,
remember,
of course.
my 2023, one of the goals was to start building a team. In
Right.
24, I built the team and I got accustomed to working with a team.
Yeah.
Now, in 5, almost 3 years in, I feel like this year is going to be the year where the team is tight. We all know each other well. And now is where like the real magic will start happening, because
Yeah,
the frequencies are matched now.
I agree.
So it's a whole backtracking type of thing that I try to do.
I'll
Okay.
definitely take that.
So in regards to you saying that, you know, like you don't have a team as of now, okay, how long does it take you to post one video? Like, I'm just saying posting, like video edit ho chuka hai. Like, how long does it take you to post it on Instagram? Like, your video is already edited.
Like 2-3 minutes.
Okay, now you have to put your caption, you have to put your cover picture, you have to like fix the grid and everything like that. Okay, chal. Let's say you're posting, you're mirroring the same content, you're putting it on YouTube Shorts as well.
Yeah.
How long would that take you?
Another 2 minutes.
Okay, okay, now you're putting it on Snapchat also.
2 minutes.
Okay, now you're putting it on Reddit as well.
Reddit.
Why not? There's a community there too.
Facebook.
Now putting on Facebook as well. So I have one person only for posting.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Oh.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
didn't
can't
think
spend.
I didn't know you were going
Yeah.
there with this.
Yeah, I
Fair
was going to
enough.
post my content.
Yeah, I will post on Facebook, I'll post on Reddit, I'll post on Snapchat, I'll post on I was posting on TikTok also because I had a friend who lived abroad and I was just sending my content ki idhar bhi dal do. I just want to build relevancy anywhere and in however
Why
form I
not?
want.
Why
so
not? That's
in
smart.
that way, like to even save up this, because honestly speaking, like if I'm going to go on every platform and I'm going to fix that cover photo and seeing ki grid better hai, and then obviously the thing with all these platforms is like, see, Instagram, you put that super right on the front, and if you put that same edited video on YouTube, it doesn't work because it comes with this metadata of Instagram. So on YouTube, I have to sit again, I have to edit that super in that particular way. So that everything takes me 15 20 minutes. So
Right.
in a day, I'm spending almost close to 1 hour just posting on these 3 platforms.
Oh shit. Oh,
On
yeah, I didn't
Snapchat,
realize.
YouTube and Instagram. So I just got this one girl that will post for me everywhere, and I just sent her like, this is the raw file, posted on Instagram, YouTube and Snapchat, and that's how I think my YouTube did incredibly well out of nowhere. I touched 1 million out of nowhere, and that's just mirroring content.
Question: do you have a private Instagram account also, or do you just use your main account?
I have 3. I have a private Instagram account which is just friends and family. Then I have one which I just post whatever I want, and then one is my main.
Okay.
So, yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, because so for me, I mean, I do have a private account, but a really old one. I don't know if I would trust anyone into my actual Instagram
same.
account.
I
So-
would not give my password to anybody.
Right.
But it's about he's talking about like multi-channel distribution. Like, sure,
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
you do
no,
your
I
primary
agree.
channel, Instagram, you post yourself. I'm assuming. But when it goes to anything else, like you can always have somebody.
That's true. Yeah. No, I was just
Yeah.
curious in terms of if you're comfortable with
I
that.
have my, like, luckily the person that manages like my Instagram account, I've known her for 14 years.
Oh.
So yeah, like, and like there's like full transparency between the both of us, but you don't have to really give your Instagram account to somebody.
I know. I was just
But
asking out of
for me,
curiosity.
On Snapchat, I don't use Snapchat. Snap is very irrelevant for me. But like I don't really have anything. So she has a password of that, and she has a password for YouTube also, like that, Facebook, everything. So it really doesn't matter. But yeah, like Instagram, maybe you could do your posting on Instagram and then give if you're okay with giving a Snapchat or something, because I find the whole posting part very taxing, bro.
Yeah, I feel like it's just
I
about-
agree with you. It's
about
like to
building,
go. I'm
like,
lazy when it
systems
comes to
and
Snapchat,
processes.
YouTube. So even though it doesn't take me long, it takes me 3 to 4 minutes max. But I'm so lazy, it doesn't happen.
It does. It's an entire thing, because you have to be in the zone. What if you posted something wrong or something, like the cover photo is not fit
Dude,
well, or
it's-
you
yeah,
mess,
it's the worst.
and then
No,
it
and
goes
I'm also-
out, and then
Oh
you're
God.
like,
And then when
I
you repost
agree.
it, comments come, repost.
No, and I'm also like selectively lazy. Like I will sit and edit a full YouTube video, but I don't want to post the same video I posted on Instagram or Snapchat. I don't know why. Like I'm like selectively
Dude,
lazy.
I think
It just
this is
doesn't
a
happen.
great, because even I'm super lazy.
Yeah.
So what I've tried to do is I've tried to create like systems and processes for everything.
Yeah.
And like the goal for this year is also for any video that I'm shooting on Instagram, YouTube, I show up, I shoot, I leave. Couple of days I get the video, approve, and it's out. Like that's the process that I'm going to build, and it's because I'm lazy. कि क्यों करूँ मैं? अगर मैं I can set up a nice process, a nice system where everything is flowing nicely.
Yeah.
Then you just tweak the system, right, according to what's happening, what's not happening.
so see, the thing is that like a person won't be able to navigate the ship like the way you do, right?
Yeah.
Like that. So you're basically the CEO of the company, but these small little things like posting, you can pawn off these things. So it
Yeah,
takes
for
away the
sure.
load from your head.
For
That
sure.
gives you more time to write more content, be more
Exactly.
creative, and expand your business. That makes
Exactly.
that gives you a space where you can now
more.
think, okay, now where do I take this stuff from? But if you're too busy with like, trying to make a cover photo, you're too busy with trying to make like, put this video out over the small little thing, like even sourcing outfits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or even like making a carousel, like like how Tarini makes these really cool carousels nowadays. So I have this one friend who just, I'm like, I have these photos, make a sick carousel for me. Because then that's me sitting on Canva trying to put these things together. These things, if anything and everything you can pawn off to somebody after you've reached a certain stage, I think you should do it, and you should just learn how to like run the company like a CEO.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's because you control the vision, and then as much as you can delegate, you can focus on the bigger picture of things. What do you want to do ahead?
Yeah.
But yeah, good question.
Yeah, I think a great place to start for people like Tera sorted out, like for example for you also, don't make it a restriction that because you're doing everything on your own right now, you want to give yourself enough time and all that. That is
Yeah.
fine, but at the same time, you already broke the system down, right? Like there are
Yeah.
step 2, step 3, step 4.
Absolutely.
See what out of those steps are not creative or
Okay.
are like repeatable in nature that anybody can do.
Mundane.
Yeah.
Like uploads is mundane and repeatable in nature. That's one task you can hire someone for. Similarly, what is that task in your breakdown of creative process which you wouldn't mind somebody else helping you with? So for example, the ideation piece is a place where the more the merrier, right?
Yeah.
Like you are coming up with your own content.
Yeah.
एक लड़की को तूने हायर कर लिया 10,000 rupees 15,000 rupees internship whatever, she's uploading for you, and she's also like 20-year-old college girl who follows you and follows a bunch of creators like you or foreign creators like you. She will have a different perspective and a lot of ideas. So उसका जीवन में बस यही काम है कि तुझे और ideas ला के दे in addition to your 10.
Fair enough.
So that will fasten your process of selection,
That
and
makes sense.
so just find that one person, and then
I agree.
slowly you will get to a
Agree.
larger
I even have
level.
somebody who just responds to my comment. 150 comments a day is a target. I don't even yeah.
That's great. I'm gonna steal that.
So cool.
And it took me, I think, like 3 months for me to train them in how I would respond to comments. But like now, I just every now and then check. I'm like, yeah, that is something I would
Oh,
say.
but like I don't
Yeah.
comments, but don't you feel like replying to them yourself? I was just
Yeah,
like I would
I would
ideally
want
want
to
to.
do
The thing is that sometimes it's so taxing in that way. See, every now and then I will go, I'll check top comments, I'll see what it is and stuff like that. But like in the way I have seen Instagram, if responding to comments also really generates a lot of views, and I wanted to make sure that I am responding to almost every comment I can get in that sense. So I gave her a target. I was like 150 if you
But
can
you
do
do
it.
check.
I do
Because
check
you have
every
to be
yeah,
down in the mud.
Yeah,
like,
you have to
and
see
know
what is
what's
coming out
happening.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I do check in sometimes. I tell her highlight something if it's like very constructive, or if it's like a very sweet paragraph or something like that.
Interesting.
Then just mention it to me. So she'll send me an email. Okay, these were like comments I selected for you. But like even that also, I'm like, if I can pawn anything off to somebody, I'll do. I just want to focus on creative.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Correct. Cool. So, brands. What's your relationship with brands? How do you talk to brands? What do you feel is the gap between, like I feel like a lot of brands feel their perception about a Gen Z audience is very different from a Gen Z creator's perception of audience, and that's why they would a lot of times would want to force content on you, which is 9 out of 10 brands, more or less. But what has your relationship with brand deals or brands in general has been?
See, I would be the worst person to say this because I've done the least amount of brand deals over here on this table. But for me, I think most people that are making these brand mandates are millennials themselves. Like
Above millennials.
Yeah,
too.
above millennials also. So they genuinely don't get it. And I feel like brands don't really trust creators with their own scripts itself. Like, see, I see it really simply, and this is what Asukwa taught me. She was like, okay, if a brand is coming to you, you need to make them understand that, okay, you've come to me, now you need to trust me. Like that, you've come to me for a reason, right? But for whatever reason, like, I'm never being able to convince the brand that, okay, like, listen, this piece of content will do well. They will come up with something that's very safe for them, which I know is not going to perform well, and it's going to tank my reach overall. And then again, that shows on your portfolio, okay, guys, brand videos don't really do well. So to bridge that gap between your creativity and also following the brand mandates and the kind of like zone that they want to be in, that is something that I till date I struggle very deeply with. I'm still trying to figure that part out.
You need to have the guts to say no. Once you have that, and once you say no to a brand is, but what about difficulty because you want the money also.
That's
the real.
I have at the most I think I have said no to one brand at one point because I was really not vibing with the script at all. But for somebody that doesn't do as many brand deals and stuff, like I get like what, like maybe like 2-3 in a month or something. Now I'm doing like well, like I think now I got like this month I did like I think close to 5. But before it was like 2 in like 2 months or something. So I don't have the guts to say no to that brand. I'm like, okay, you tell me, I will do it. I will just figure something out. But I know it's not going to do well. And then at times when I've pitched them a certain script, they've rejected it. I've put a whatever script for them. I now will just tweak that script and I'll make it a non-branded video and I'll post it on my content because I've already written a 6 script, and then that video does like 2-3 million, and I'll take it to the brand and be like, see, I told you.
And do you speak to these brands on the briefing call, or is it just like
I try to get on the briefing call as much as possible, but like now it's more relaxed because I'm with a new agency. But previously it was a little bit more like there was a third person always involved in telling me something to do and were not letting me communicate with the brand properly. So yeah, because they are also I don't blame them. They're also too scared to lose out on business, and like they're also trying to build their relation with their brand and stuff like that. But then I feel like the creator really gets screwed in the process. Like even if there's a edit delay for coming from the person that's managing your end, they sort of tend to pin it on the creator in that way. So that yeah and I found out all this after like like getting out of certain things and things like that. Then it's Kevin is difficult to work with his thing. I'm like, but I gave it this day it came and stuff like that. Ye ek hafte baad, that was not even my delay. So it works sometimes in that way. So,
Correct.
But so my perspective with brands is a little different, to be honest. I look at it in a way, how am I differentiated from other people? Everybody gets views, everybody gets likes, shares, comments, everything. Like, especially today on Instagram, thousands of creators, right? That fit that niche, that fit that brand, fit that product. I focus, that's my primary goal, is to give them the experience. And I'm super on that. I want to give the brand the best possible experience. Like, it's something as simple as if a brand wants insights. Usually people I've seen they take 2-3 days to send a couple of screenshots. Like, I don't, like, sometimes I just I go on the group, I see the message, send it immediately. Like, recently this happened day before yesterday. The POC also said, thank you for being so prompt. It's good because their work also, and you don't understand, that goes a long way.
Good job.
It's just about giving people the best experience that you possibly can. Giving them scripts promptly, the videos promptly. There was also a phase where a couple of brands, when another creator kind of backed out of the deal or something like that, I've had like a 12-hour, 6-hour window like that. They come to me because of the time frame that I've closed the work in. So I feel like that's very important, how you differentiate yourself in terms of reliability, in terms of being prompt and giving them the best experience. Because you need to understand, if you make the people working in the agencies happy, you give them you don't make their life hell, because you just don't do this, just be good.
100%. Like,
do it. Yeah, if you do that, then they are going to pitch you to 10 more people. Right? They would want to work with you more. And that's honestly, this was a supplementary thought that I got. I've said supplementary too many times this podcast.
No, but your turnaround time definitely is something that brands look forward to. How fast
For
you can
sure.
deliver.
Bro, that is one, but like
Yeah.
as a like whenever we work with brands and let's say sometimes I remember so many times it happens that I'll be like इसको डाल दे, and Kirti would be like कि यार ये बहुत annoy करता है, तो मैं चल ठीक है इसको डाल दे. So
It's
you
that
are
simple.
you don't even
Being easy to
realize
work
you are being replaced by another creator like that.
Like that.
So it's very important. Like we were doing a SDFC brief together and I was like, team was like कि कोई अच्छी क्रिएटर्स बता दो. मैंने बोला ऐसे ले लो जो easy to work होंगे, तो मैंने बोला अगस्त्य दारिणी और ये इनको डाल दो, इनके साथ कर लेंगे. So you have to be easy to work with because the agency POCs are also like कि you might not see them as anybody. Like those, you know, talent managers or like that, like account managers or agency to agency people, but they do control certain aspect of that
a
brand.
lot, I would say.
And unless and until you're really, really, really big, then you can
Yeah.
be an asshole and you can still get brands. But
Yeah, but
that's a privilege.
and it's also
very
about
few
like
people
your
have.
team, right? Like like when you're building a team, for example, or like I'm very like same manager I've had for the last 3-4 years now, and it's very clear. Like even she knows we try to give them the best experience. If my team also messes up, it's on me. Like this happened recently. Like, you know, script didn't go on time or whatever. Like I stayed up in the night. I wrote it because ultimately you're the captain, right? It's your face, it's your reputation. No matter what happens in the back end, that's your personal issue. When you have to send something, you have to send something, no matter who's goofed up.
Yeah.
You need to take that onus and deliver to the brand.
Even a small thing like just resharing the reel on a story. Okay, it was not part of the deliverable, but it's not a big deal, dude. Just do it. Just do it. You're getting so much money. Why do you have to be like extra paisa iske liye bhi? It's so fucking annoying, man.
That sometimes comes from the manager's side because it's their job.
Bro, but sharing a but that manager
But
also
see,
at that
manager's job
moment.
is to bring it to you, and then you say yes or no. Now, if the manager's fighting, they're also fighting on behalf of what. your
Yeah,
job is.
I feel like good management also helps. I don't know, it's a lot of factors.
We'll come to that, Kevin. I know you really want to talk about it. Right, we were at the relationship with brands वाला part ना.
Yeah.
तू बची है ना सिर्फ. She's like prepared. Like
I'm
मैं
ready.
तो different हूँ.
No, not that. I was just gonna say that I think for me, my relationship with brands is when I choose a brand to work with, is if I like the product and I have the product, I promote it. If not, then no. So I feel like in that sense, I am very picky. And that's why my manager is a little bit like, you know, not enough, you're not making enough money, even from an agency standpoint. And I'm a little bit difficult, I'll admit. But for me, it's like I just need, like if I don't use it, there's no way I'm going to promote
But then you're
it.
saying no to a lot of brands.
Yeah. And thankfully, I have the privilege to do that, to say no to a lot of brands because I know not everyone is in the same boat. But I feel like to the level I can stay authentic, I will. But then going into brand deals, there's two things. One is clarity and two is like efficiency. So like I agree with Agasthya. I think when I'm in a brand deal, it's very important to be efficient, like to send in things promptly, to be as like hands-on with it, because at the end of the day, we're still making a video, and a video that goes up on my page is important to me. And since I'm representing their brand, it's important to them. At the end of the day, both sides want one thing. So I feel like there it's very important to stay efficient, make life easier for them. If you do it, they'll do it for you. But then clarity is another one for me where I was like, okay, here is where I think I make things a little bit difficult for the brand. One is this thing where I'm like, if I don't like the brand, I won't work with them. Then say it's a brand I like, but a product I don't use. Then I'll ask for a trial period. Say if it's a beauty product, I'll say straight up, look, I trust you as a brand, but now I don't know if I like the product. It's not even a matter of trust or not. So then for me, I'm like, I want to try the product for 1 month or 2 months, and only if I like it, then I will use it.
You should put this somewhere as a part of content in either a reels or a stories and repeat it a few times, once 15 days, once a month.
Got it.
Because I did not know this, and if
an
agency or a brand knows this, like Revant, Food Farmer, he will not do a brand deal. Like we have been after his life कि भाई ये करना है. He'll take say yes to 1 out of 10 brands. Like he did a Ditto today, and we did IDP yesterday. For IDP, he traveled to Delhi. He met their people, like interviewed them. He's like, ठीक है मैं कर सकता हूँ. And then he did a reel.
Right.
But people know about it. So that's why he has a premium in the market, even if it doesn't get views. For you, I don't know about this. A lot of brands don't know about it. So you can actually increase your pricing buy
Right.
let's say 50K, 1 lakh,
Okay.
and be like, you are paying for that trust.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So
Because if
integrate
Food
it.
Pharma would do anything, I would trust him at this point of time
Yeah.
because we know he is not. He
I
wouldn't
trust
do with
him a lot.
anything. Yeah.
I
like-
trust him a lot.
So
I
if
trust him a
you're
lot.
following the same thing, and if people know that okay, Taneesho will only do things that she genuinely trusts, then that I would then buy that stuff. Taneesho is doing.
So the other thing I was going to say where I still think I'm a little bit difficult to work with is with scripting. I feel like for me, I do have like, I am a certain way. Again, I love my personality being put out there. And sometimes if I feel like I'm being curbed, then I feel like, sometimes I do put on a little bit of a fight where I'm like, no, I know this is what my audience will like. If you make it look too scripted, too brandish, my followers are not going to like it. At the end of the day, they're still getting entertainment from my page. And I do want to, make that the center of all the reels.
Yeah, so
as
the
well.
hack there is request your team to set up a call with the brands.
Always. I always
And then
do
you
that.
will explain it.
No, face-to-face on-call is much better. I don't like my manager having to explain this by herself because I'm the one putting up the fight. She shouldn't have to fight that battle for me.
Yeah.
If it's like something stupid like ye CT, NHA, this, that, fine. But yeah, with this kind of stuff, I always prefer, if a brand asks for a briefing call, this, that, I always come on, and that's why I said, right, clarity is very important. We have to make it clear earlier only to the brand. Because later going into it, I don't want any issues. Like I feel like all of these
Yeah.
things need to
Fair.
be clarified
What
at
he can.
first. So
But
I feel
there
like
are,
that is
road
also a little
bumps,
important.
even after a script is approved and you shoot exactly like the script, sometimes there are
Yeah.
still road bumps.
Yeah.
And the best possible thing is just try to fit it in as a super or in the caption
Exactly,
or whatever.
yeah.
Because see,
Ego.
ego is sure, but like it's
Ego I can't
don't
have.
fight with that person. That person is not the one who's controlling.
I agree. And with these kind of
So-
things, I don't have the patience only to put up an argument. I feel like if it's a small thing, you can
If
change.
it's a small thing, I mean, I'm not saying outright just do it, but
Yeah, no,
wherever
I
you
agree.
can find a solution,
No, of course.
mutually, it's just these 2-3 hacks.
No,
I feel like
I
can go
I
a long
agree
way.
with you. I think for me, it's only certain things like the audience comes first.
Yeah,
Their
for sure,
entertainment
for sure.
goes up.
So-
it'll benefit both of us if the video performs
Exactly.
better. You know what I mean?
How many, what's the max brand deals you've done a month? 11?
Bro, I don't remember.
10, 11?
Wow.
पागल है 10-11 कौन लगता हूँ तेरे को मैं
Kevin को लगता है मैं
10-11 in a month नहीं bro I don't know 7-8
7,
9
8.
8 मैंने गिना था एक बार I think.
तो मेरे को नहीं याद
Okay, Kevin, how many brand deals has Agasthya done a month? Maximum.
I think I counted 8 once. I think it was a brand after brand. Every other video was brand. I was
so
like,
sometimes what happens it's like deals are locked when are they executed some are in process
वो तो
some
है।
are on urgent
वो तो है.
so I track my whatever income also I don't track it per month I think as a creator
You should not.
that can cause quarterly like I have my Q1 Q2 Q3 Q4 goals and I feel like that is a little more balanced way because every month's not going to go well maybe Diwali months are greater or like some months are slower like March is usually a little slow because budgets are over new financial year starts April say so these things and it just causes you anxiety कि भाई पैसा क्यों नहीं आ रहा ये क्यों नहीं deals क्यों नहीं हो रहा but तुम quarter to quarter measure करोगे then it balances out.
Yeah.
Fine. 8.
I think I've locked the most. I think अभी execution भी चल रहा था. I think locked the most 5.
5.
Yeah.
Same 5.
5. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how do you spend the crores that you get?
I look at me.
Crores तेरे से start करूँगा ना because Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin.
Sorry. Kevin, what do you think? How does Agasthya spend the crores?
So he bought a car, Kia, right?
Yeah.
See, yeah.
Dude, that's you have a car. Let's talk about you. No, but
Seltos है ना?
I'm sorry.
नहीं sort है. हाँ.
You know about the Gucci watch?
No, the Gucci watch भी?
Bro,
No,
this
that I
guy-
don't know.
This guy in the last podcast also 1.5 year ago he has pointed the watch out और मैंने आज वो नहीं पहना जानबूझ के because ये बोलेगा but bro
But anyway,
He's
like the
wearing a
productive,
Casio Tiffany blue.
with
the productive side of the money.
this was a gift dude I'm very strategic with how I spend my money also maybe and how I invest my money.
Okay.
Like I've invested in startups. I've stock market is there and everything is there but like one of my biggest things last year was I bought the car. Yes, that's been like building up for the last 5 years. Like that was my thing. I wanted to do it. Sure, did it. But last year I decided consciously I don't want to spend money on things. I wanted to spend money on experiences. So last year is surprisingly the year that I bought jacket, shoes, ये वो watch ऐसा कुछ नहीं खरीदा. But I spent the most money I have on my travel last year. Like I went to 5 countries. Like I traveled, and that was my perspective where I wanted to spend my money, because I felt like that would bring me peace, which in turn would make me work harder, which in turn I would make more money from it. So I always spend my money from a very ROI thing. It's not ki khali if you invest you can get a ROI. Like for the first time I bought like the 16 Pro Max or whatever, because that's a device I use for my job. It's going to give me a ROI, right? Certain camera that I want to buy, or the office, or like with salaries and fixed costs and everything. Bro, money spent,
Reinvested mostly.
mostly it's reinvested, and I put myself on pocket money. By the way, that's a great system. Like because for a while I was just like, I'm spending money, sure, little bit wherever I want to, but then I was like, I put myself on my own pocket money that I give myself. That this is the amount of money I can spend in a month, and I don't even end up spending that because I don't know, bro. I'm just in that zone right now where I just want to reinvest everything back.
Fair. Reinvest.
Like I want to go all in, and that also scares you a little bit, right?
Absolutely.
Because you don't know if you're going to get it back, but it gives you that confidence.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Me? Okay. 4 places. One, not the best option, but some of it is sitting in my savings account. Second is investments. My dad helps me with that. He takes over most of that. I haven't fully understood it. And then number 3 is traveling. Also, I'm fond of traveling. I love doing it. I want to spend the absolute most on those experiences. And 4 is donations. I feel like there's a few causes I care about. Few NGOs that I like Ashray, Milap, Robin Hood. I'm passionate about certain causes, a lot of LGBTQ causes I really care about, and so some chunk of my money goes there. So these are the 4 main places where most of my money is going.
Beautiful. I've not done the donation part yet, but
I take care of
Good
my
one.
family, bro. Like I'm like I live in Lokan, my rent's a fucking bomb.
Responsibilities.
Yeah,
Tell me about it.
Real
Yeah,
responsibilities.
bro. So I think most of my money goes in like I think it gets
Rent.
rent and like whatever my lifestyle is a little bit more on the expensive side also. So yeah, things that I can't mention, but
things that help Kevin think creatively.
very creatively.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that then there's a lot of like I think I tend to blow up a lot on partying. That's one thing too, which I shouldn't be doing at this point because I'm getting older now. But again, like Ags has also mentioned, like I do reinvest in like my content. So like getting a better camera, the laptop, the iPad, then getting a mic, getting lights. I've invested a lot in lights and stuff. I don't know, I have a thing for lights. And yeah, lighting is just, I feel like you make cinematic lighting in a video, just makes it look nice.
Your videos lighting up,
Yeah.
they're very good.
It's always warmer tone and things like that. So I take that. So now I'm at a point where I'm pretty equipped with a lot of things. And so I think initially it was a lot of going into like the equipment and stuff. And then at one point I was also paying salaries because I had people that I still am, but I don't have that big of a team right now. But at one point I had like 3 people working under me at that time. So I was paying salaries at that. But most of it's like now I'm just investing in myself. Like I don't have investments or anything of that sort. I feel like I had a money wound for a very long time and I'm just trying to money wound. Yeah, money wound is basically when you've struggled financially for a while and then you get money and then you just want to like recover from that, feel ki, oh shit bro, I was struggling at that point of time. So you just do things that make you feel good about yourself. You take a trip to like I don't know Bangkok.
Revenge.
You just it's just to like like recover from that. So I think I had a money wound for like a really long time. So I think I'm at this phase where I'm like I just want to reinvest in myself and I just want to like make myself feel complete when I didn't feel complete for a really long time. So that's what I've been doing.
My mom told me this very nice thing. Since I'm a kid, it's just ingrained in me that as you start making money, you're going to increase the amount of money you're going to make, but make sure that after a point your lifestyle expenses are maybe fixed to a point. Don't let as your income grows, don't let your lifestyle also grow, because then when the income isn't as much, then you're going to have a very tough time downsizing again to that. So this is just some conscious thing that my mom has told me. It's just in my head.
That's true.
Inflation ko control mein rakho.
Haan.
Like your
That's
money
true.
can grow, but sometimes you keep increasing your expenses. Like when I used to live in Delhi, I was paying shit rent, bro. I was like a college student paying 8,000.
20,000. I saw your clip.
Yeah, bro.
I saw 25,000 and your client went.
Yeah.
You
One
lost your
client
client
went.
na, at that time.
Correct. Oh,
What's
yeah.
your amount?
That one. I was like, Bhopal जा रहा हूँ. Khatam my lifestyle inflation.
No, bro, but yeah.
Then Bangalore and then Bombay one, which is
Yeah.
Insignia VKC wala ghar. And then this house. And I'm like, bro, too much. This is too much unnecessarily.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and you have to control it because irrespective of how much your money, it's crazy rent, bro. Why are you spending so much?
Dude, it's like if today you start making money and your lifestyle expenses are 30% of your income, it should ideally become where if you're making 10x that money, but then maybe your expenses are 5% of your total income, but it's that 30% amount only.
Yeah.
Like because bro, if one that एक बार हाथ छूट जाता है ना, तो मतलब there's lots of places to spend money.
Yeah.
You're just that's I don't know, mama, thank you.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks, mom.
All right, so to end, just the ending couple of questions. I don't actually want to go very deep into the life beyond the screen because I think वो पता लग ही गया during the conversations. But people around you, what kind of values or what kind of friends do you want to attract or want to hang around with? And who do you like go away from? Because in our creator economy, we hang around with a lot of people, but then we don't, interact with them beyond.
Yeah.
I like to be in circles where I feel like I'm comfortable having productive conversations. Like I feel like sometimes there are circles where people will talk about other people and it's like,
Goss.
yeah. And I don't know, sometimes I feel like if I try to bring up something I actually care about, like the world or something like that, I feel like a lot of people try to put me down and be like, hey, what are you talking about? Don't get so serious. This, that. I don't feel like the
Yeah,
most
no,
comfortable
100%.
in the in those circles. Or like a lot of the times if I like try to, like if people are talking about a topic and they try to give their opinions and I try to say something, I feel like we'll be like, hey, feminist, shut up. And all these things, I don't feel
Brush you
comfortable
off
in those.
types.
Yeah, I like to be in circles where other people are open to learning and I'm also open to learning equally. If you have like something, if you want to dispute me and you do it in a way that's not trying to put me down, then I'm like respectfully. Yeah, I otherwise
Yeah.
I'm not happy. Like I feel like a lot of the times I shy away otherwise from conversations where I don't feel as welcome.
I think my outlook to this is I have a different vibes like
Yeah.
all the time. Like I have my school friends, my boys who
Yeah.
I am this like bro, we act like animals when we're
Yeah,
together.
of
Like we are
course.
in 9th grade again.
Yeah.
So that's a full separate side of me. Then when I'm hanging out with maybe creators, I like talking about work. I like exchanging ideas.
Yeah.
That's one side to me. When I'm with my family, I don't talk about work at all. That's a different side to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's important because you get a more holistic perspective. And I feel like with the amount of YouTube I also watch, podcasts I watch, or like things, school videos or any infotainment videos.
Yeah.
I feel like धीरे धीरे करके ना you start learning a lot about different topics.
Yeah.
Which then, no matter what the group is, you have something to contribute and add. I feel like that's
Yeah.
something I always look to do in a conversation.
Yeah, so I agree with you, but I like you said, you can be a certain way with your boys, this, that. In my closest circle, at least, I want to have people where I can be all those things with. Where
Yeah.
when it's time to be serious, you can be serious. When I need you to
100%.
show up for me, you show up for me. And then when we're just doing nonsense, talking about whatever, making whatever jokes, who cares, not listening.
Yeah.
I want that also with the closest people around me.
Yeah.
Then beyond that, of course, there's different people for different things. But I just like feel like it's important that when I do want to show like some sort of growth or something, I'm not embarrassed. Or like to show vulnerability, I'm not embarrassed with
Yeah, fair.
a certain
Who
type
do you
of
let
person.
in? That's the question. Not how you are with like different
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Like she said, like who does she let in?
Who do I let in?
Because I know you are a guy who would not on their face make them know that chal bhai तेरे से तो मैं जिंदगी में बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. Because you like more or less like me also, I'll talk to everybody, but
Yeah.
I know in my head ये in है कि out है of sorts, right?
Yeah.
Like that way.
Bro, I this is going to sound very weird, but I can't do people that gossip, like very honestly. I don't know why.
The negative gossips, ना कि
Yeah,
यार
the
ये तो-
Yeah, I like harmless gossip. I'm not
अरे
going
वो
to
सब
lie.
तो-
Negative gossip,
नहीं
you
नहीं
are.
Negative
जो
gossip,
जो
no.
सच में
हाँ.
कि
gossip
मतलब
I also like.
Yeah,
That's
but
fine.
yeah,
मतलब
negative
I meant
gossip.
that. I mean
Yeah,
that negative
negative gossip is really bad.
Pulling down vibes.
Because if you're saying it
just-
about someone else to me, you're
You're
definitely saying it about me to someone else, and I can't.
I
trust
cannot
that.
do
Yeah.
that energy. Those are the people I keep out.
Yeah.
I don't have restricted ki you match this checklist, so I will let you in.
Yeah.
If you're genuinely a decent human being, I don't care what you do, who you are. I just then we're friends.
Yeah.
Like I have made friends in the most random places. Like just because of a conversation or like about some food they're having or anything. I know who to keep out rather than who to let in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's these bro, you know what I'm saying. Like, I can't even explain it. Like, I don't even want to speak about that because I don't like that energy so much. Like, I don't even want to say it. But yeah.
I'm very close like that. Like I am friends with everyone. I'm very popular and stuff. But you'll very rarely see me at these influencer parties or like at someone's house or something. Like I very rarely show up on stuff. For me, I just have like two people in my life that are very close. That one keeps me grounded, one keeps me motivated. Geet and Sakshi, both. So I like people that keep me grounded because sometimes I let these things get to my head. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm doing a web series or stand up and stuff. But then there's Geet who'll be like, चूतिया चुप रहे कुछ नहीं है तू ठीक है तू need to like relax ठीक है like that. So I like those friends who like they also like keep you very humble and stuff and like they don't make you feel like oh you're that big of a deal also. So then you're living in your like reality, and there are friends that like really motivate you that okay, at times I do feel like bro like I don't think I'm doing well enough. I don't think like I have it in me. I don't think I'm being able to be the same creator that I am. But then they do remind you ki, listen, you've done so much. So I feel like these are the two people that are my close. Baki I'm friends with everyone. Everyone loves me and stuff like that. But I don't let people come in. Like you'll see like only two people being posted on my story constantly, and that's just going to be these two people. So I like to keep the circle very tight, but be friends with everyone.
Yeah, agreed.
I have a last question, but before that, do you want to talk about your TVF thing? How you got into it?
Oh my god, wow. So this was thank you. Okay, so so I have a lot to share about this thing. So there was this entire space where I was doing these characters like the Sufyan Shivani thingy, and I felt like bro, I would get these comments where they would be like when I would play the Shivani character that is he actually a guy or a girl? So I used to take that as a major compliment that okay, I can pull this off so well that people are actually doubting ki is he a dude or a chick. So I would think of it like like Ritesh Deshmukh in that Dil Mein Baji Guitar movie where he was playing this female character and stuff. I was like like maybe you can act, Kev, maybe this is in your cards. So the people that I was closely working with, I had taken this thing up to them like I was like, hey, you know what, I want to get into acting just for the versatility of it. Like I want to be known as a creator who broke through from content and has got into acting. But at the time they didn't really believe in the entire aspect of this thing, so they had this entire thing to say that देख तू creator तो बहुत अच्छा बन पाएगा but तू actor India में नहीं बन पाएगा. And I think that's a really shitty thing to say to your own talent. And I know a lot of my friends also like that are being managed by certain agencies and stuff, and like they are being told that their dreams are Everest and things. And I why would you say that to your own talent? Like you let your talent dream, right? Like that maybe try to like just nudge certain things in their direction, maybe try to get them a couple of auditions or whatever it is, try to do the max you can. Agreed, like the maximum amount of money they are making is off their content and Instagram and stuff, but like this is what their aspirations are, right? Like you're supposed to be like a talent management agency, you manage a talent, you just don't get them brand deals. That shouldn't just be a goal of an agency to just get you brand deals. You have to see the personal growth of a creator as well. So that thing really hit at that point, and maybe to a certain degree I did think that maybe it's not meant for me, because apparently northeastern faces don't really get casted as lead roles in India. Like the last, like you see Mary Kom was played by Priyanka Chopra. And that was a story about the Northeast, dude. The last Northeastern actor you must have seen in a movie was Chang from Badmash Company, bro. Like that's a reality of things. And I thought like maybe all I can do is TVCs and things like that. But I kept giving auditions. Whatever brief would come my way, I would make all these monologues and everything. And after a while of doing like, I think like 50 auditions in the last 2 years, I started getting pretty good at monologues, and I started getting good at like taking up other characters and things. But at the back of my head I was like, if it works it works, if it doesn't it doesn't. Somewhere along the lines I think my manager Rahul had texted me saying hey Kev, there's this acting brief, and that time I was doing Instagram and stuff. I was like, bro mat karo, meko kuch nahi chahiye, I don't want an audition. He's like, just give it now, like who cares. I was like, I don't want to. He's like, acha, just listen to the brief also, like it's an interesting brief, the character's a stoner. So I was like, okay, I'll do the audition. Okay, because there isn't much acting required here. So I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. And then I did the entire audition and stuff. And like I came to a point where I've gotten rejected so many times for auditions. So I just give the, and I forget about it. I don't even like think of it the next day, because you get in a very negative zone, especially when it reaches the last stage. And it's come so many times, reached the last. I've met the directors, costumes we finalized, okay, and then the next day it's dropped. So I never wanted to make myself feel like disheartened. So I'll just like do the audition, forget about it. I think a day or something went by. That night I pulled an all-nighter. I think it was like till 7 a.m. I was working, and I just decided to put my phone off and I just went off to sleep. That was the day when the directors, my managers, and like I don't know, everyone in the world was trying to get in touch with me, and I was just sleeping. I slept till 5 p.m. At the time, I think one of my managers suspected that Sakshi would like have like maybe another way to like
Your
get
friend.
in, like my very good friend. She would have a way of like getting in touch with me. So they reached out to Shark, and Shark had my personal number, which I always keep on. That's only for like friends and family if there's an emergency. So that phone rang, and then I got damn scared because that phone only rings when there's something like really goes bad. Okay. Pick up the phone. I'm like, yo, Shark, what's up? She's like, yo, pick up your manager's call right now. I was like, what? She's like, just pick up your call. I'm like, okay. I picked up my manager's call. My manager's cussing me out. He's like, we've been reaching out to you since 12 in the afternoon. The directors need to meet you right now. Go to the TVF office ASAP. I was like, bro, I've just woken up. And he's like, it's okay. You anyways look like a stoner right now. Just go. Don't even wash your face. Put a chewing gum in your mouth and go. Luckily, like that's why I touch wood. I love living in Lokhandwala because all offices are just around.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
it's
Beef
like
के सामने तो है.
TVF office is just like here.
Yeah.
So I just got in the rickshaw and stuff like that. And like I didn't even realize at the time I'd taken a cigarette with me to like smoke in the rig to just wake up. Okay, I'd left the cigarette also in my ear and I walked into the audition.
God.
That's where you got accepted.
Yeah, that's where they were like.
I was
we
so in my
casted the
sleep.
right
There was still
guy.
rocks in my eye. You know, I was like trying to clean it like in the lift camera. I was like, shit, bro. Like I'm just gonna mess up today. And I'd just gotten into this new agency also, so I was looking very incompetent to be very honest. And like I don't even have as many as followers as like my counterparts and stuff. So like it was a bet for the people who got me into the agency as well. You know, this kid will do it. You know. I got into the audition and I was reading my lines very slowly because I just woke up, right? So I was just like taking my lines. The directors, they just stopped me for a second. They're like, bro, तू ऐसे ही पढ़ते कि तू acting कर रहा है. And I was like, oh, guys, I'm really sorry. If you give me like just 5 minutes to prepare for it, I'll do better. Like, नहीं तू सही कर रहा है. So I was like, oh, okay. Maybe it's because I sound like I'm a little high or something like that, right? So yeah, because that was the character brief, like sort of,
If it's
you know,
meant
like
to
that.
be, it's meant to be.
Wow.
Yeah,
literally.
creative guy, does his own thing. He lives in a different track, like speaks really slowly and stuff. So I did that audition and then I just like forgot about it. And I think 2 days later, somewhere at like 11:30 in the night, like my manager calls me up and he's like, bro, we've locked it. And I was like, oh, okay. So when is it? She's like, yeah, you have to go for a reading tomorrow itself. I was like, so when are we like starting? Like in 3 days. And apparently I found out that they were looking for my character for the longest time. And they couldn't find a northeastern guy that grew up in Bombay. And I'm a northeastern guy that grew up in
It was
Bombay.
written for you.
That
So
was perfect.
it worked out so perfectly for me at the time. I was like, wow, like how was this character like even like written? And I started reading more about the character and I was like, bro, I can do a lot of justice to this character. And at this point, it wasn't even for the heck of acting. It wasn't even for the heck of like versatility. At this point, I was like, bro, I'd love to play this character. I would do so well doing this. We got on set, like I got to work with these amazing actors who are very professional and like they've done like a lot of other things. And I was like the most junior most actor over there. So when I saw these guys, I was in awe. I was like, I'm nowhere close to as good as these guys are. But in that moment, I got another challenge in my life. I was like, okay, now this is where you dominate again. So then I
वहाँ का
would-
अगस्त मिल गया तुझे.
yeah, I got my other Agasthya over there, you know, by seeing my co-stars. Then I would see the way they would take their lines, the way they take their pauses and stuff, the way they would get into character and everything. And I just started building from there and it kept getting better and better. Obviously, first 2 days I was just lost on set. I was like, I didn't even know where to look. I was looking into the camera directly so many times and stuff. So they had to do a lot of these things that they had to maintain for me, constantly remind me, you don't look in the camera, you look over here, you look over there and things. So all those things started coming in. It was, I think, somewhere, I think on day 28, towards the last 2 days of the shoot. In that day, as I said, my character's name is Jaren, right? That was the first day when I realized that why acting is such a beautiful art form. It was because for a very brief period of just half an hour, I forgot I was Kevin. I was not Kevin anymore. I became Jaren in that moment. And I started thinking and talking exactly like Jaren. I was like, fuck, I wouldn't say these things. Who is this person that's talking like this? This is what Jaren would say. And even my actors and all noticed, we were doing like sort of this like one. So there was this one scene that we were kind of like shooting and it was sort of like supposed to be like an emotional kind of a scene. But there was no brief given to us that I had to cry or anything like that. Whatever was happening in that moment, I ended up crying so much while the take was happening. And I was like to a point where I was like, wait, like I'm going to mess up the take. Because like my tears are just like bawling out from here and things. And I'm like, shit, Kev, you're going to mess up the take. And I was crying for a fictional story. Like what was happening was completely fictional.
Yeah, I know.
It's not real. Like these are all actors. This is a script written by a writer. The writer's vaping on the corner over there, right? I'm like, why am I crying? And there was a co-star of mine also who got so into it, and even he was crying. And then that was when I realized, hey, I wasn't Kevin in that moment. I was Jaren. Then I realized that being an actor, you get to live so many different lives being this person. And that was when I fell in love with the art form of acting. And then 2 days later, we shot like the last episode. And then I was like, when are we shooting again? I want to do this. I want to do more. Now I want to explore acting. Even though like when you're starting off, like obviously influencing makes us a lot more money, and like this took up, like 2 months of my time, and I could have done so much. My Instagram could have grown so much more, but it's a whole different world that you step into, and it's like a new challenge, it's a new experience. So I love keeping myself like like that fresh, that I'm doing new things. So that was how this entire thing came out. So yeah.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you so much. For everyone that said Northeastern guys don't get casted. Oh my god. Yeah.
Alrighty, last question. Quick one. If you want to explain it, you can explain it. But like one advice, insight, whatever you'd want to give to the other people.
I think for Taneesho, it would be, I think, get more structure. I think you'll do really, really, really well if you get more structure, because you are anyways doing amazing without structure, which is wow. Yeah, honestly, for me, if I was like you, I would have tanked, bro. But for the fact that like your audience is like still loving you and all, I have to like how we try to maintain that discipline ki ye karna hai, wo karna. I wish I could be that chill, but honestly, if you get structure, you'll really boom. With Ags, I think I would try to say like experiment with more things. Try experimenting with a little bit more outside just Instagram. I'm not saying like content wise, I'm saying like anything. That's more or less it.
I would say for you, you're great at what you do, and your personality is, I think, your biggest USP.
Yeah.
Play on that more, because I feel like people don't have an original personality anymore in today's world. Like what you only said, we're all becoming one person. But like you have that personality which you can play very well on. Like bro, Emma Chamberlain vibes. Like her personality is her. Like her videos are only hers. Nobody can replicate that.
Yeah.
And I get that vibe from you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Kevin, bro.
Fuck you.
I think for you bro, I would say bro, you're great at stand up. Like when I saw that video, I was watching it on my TV just one night, I say. Bro, I really enjoyed the video. I feel like that is a new zone that you can explore, which can become the next big thing for you. I would say that. And for you, you though bro, I feel like you need to stress less. That's for you.
Thank you.
Wait, I have a better answer now. I thought about
knew it.
and I want to change my answer. Listen, I was put on the spot. I want to change my answer. With Kevin, I actually want to say incorporate your personality more. Only because after like speaking to you and learning so much about your life and knowing so much about you one-on-one, I think you're really interesting outside of the Instagram personas you have as well. And I feel like you're doing YouTube, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like if you go more into detail about who you are, how you are, I feel like that's really interesting. You could really gain a stronger like relationship with your audience, because there's like it's very interesting. It's very nice to know that this was your journey, this is what you've been through. Going more into your vulnerabilities a little bit would be really helpful for you, is what I feel. And then for Agastya, I thought of one and now I forgot.
Think.
Give me a second. I thought of it and then I just forgot. What was I gonna say?
Don't be irritating.
No, I think with you, I feel like you have so much to offer even outside of like your content. I know your content is very fun, this or that, but every time I talk to you and the Gujarati comes through, I feel like I'm talking to someone who is interested in like having a business or selling some sort of thing, and you do it really well. Like even as you said, even in your branded videos, the reason they do so well is because you're naturally a seller. And I feel like if you're ever interested in selling a product, service, whatever, like I would take advice for you from my Instagram, and I feel like you could really help a lot of people. Like start a workshop or something.
That's a good idea.
Is what I would say. And for you, similar to his, I feel like you were like, I don't know, like, you know, how to incorporate my brand into like my content and stuff. I think Ranveer did a really good job at doing this, where he made a big part of the brands that he was building, like Beer Biceps, Levels, Monkey. Initially, like they were a big part of his personality. Like I don't think they have to be mutually exclusive to each other. I feel like when you, and by that I mean don't just bring the brand into your thing, bring your personality into the brand. Like
That
say I
is what
come
I
with
don't
the
know how to.
brand, and I feel like that would be really, really helpful to you, because even like I didn't even know about your brand as much. When I chill with you, I was like, I like his vibe, he's a cool guy, and then I found out about Finette and I was like, oh, that's really cool. So I feel like
that happens a lot.
it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive.
Yeah,
like,
that happens a lot. It was very small one, but I feel like the creative aspects of Taneesho, if you can add to your thing, I think right now you're become too much into system and processes, and because of that the content is a
Authenticity.
little predictable of sorts. So if you can get that authentic content to your, and vice versa
Guys,
to वो तो है ही. Kevin bro, teach me bro. But yeah, personal branding, I think personal branding
Yeah,
is what she
personal branding
meant.
I would
That
love
is
to work
something
on.
which clicked me also.
Yeah.
But you're doing that with that fitness thing. Maybe
Yeah.
do that more
Right.
often is
That's
the only
true.
thing. But bro,
Yeah.
you are killing it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that photo
Yeah.
before after.
What a great podcast.
Yeah,
Done.
Crazy.
Thank you so much,
so much
guys.
Thank you. This was so
Love
much
it.
fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. It didn't feel
I
like
got
3
to
hours.
get
It
to
was
know.
fun.
अगर आप इस वीडियो के एंड तक के आए हो तो आप ये जान लो कि आप टॉप 1% लोगों में आते हो. रेस्टलेस पॉडकास्ट स्टार्ट ही इसलिए किया था ताकि हम इंडिया के और पूरी दुनिया के टॉप 1% लोगों तक पहुंच सके और उनको सिखा सके. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता कि आप तालचर से हो, आप भोपाल से हो, आप जयपुर से हो, आप इंदौर से हो. अगर आप में वो इच्छा है ग्रो करने की, सो इवन यू कैन ग्रो जस्ट लाइक आई डिड फ्रॉम अ स्मॉल टाउन ऑफ इंडिया. And if you have reached till now, please make sure to subscribe this channel so that हमारे वीडियोस आपको बार बार आते रहें. एंड हमारा प्रॉमिस आपको ये है कि हमारी सारी वीडियोस ग्रोथ रिलेटेड होंगी, चाहे बिजनेस की हो, एंटरटेनमेंट की हो, कंटेंट की हो. हमेशा आप उससे कुछ ना कुछ सीखोगे और ऐसा कोई कंटेंट पीस नहीं होगा जो आपको डिसअपॉइंट करेगा. सो मेक श्योर टू सब्सक्राइब टू दिस चैनल एंड डू शेयर दिस विद दैट वन फ्रेंड हु यू केयर अबाउट.